welcome into Big Boy Arena for tonight's contest between your Motor City Rockers and the visiting Port Huron Prowlers. I'm Brady Beaton, joined by Ben Salagi as always. And Ben, it's been a little while since we've been here. We're starting a long home stretch for the most part, and it's with the familiar face in the Prowlers that I would say it's familiar, but both sides have had a little bit of roster turnover since the new year. Yeah, it's been a patchwork type of construction by Nick Field, as you called it, a Frankenstein roster. But I know when we had a couple of guys come in, Cam Burt is still back. Adam Kuhn has been absolutely on a tear. He's gotten comfortable. He's playing very, very well. Cooner already in 6 games has 5 points, 3 goals, 2 assists. And those were guys that we said they're not Band-Aids, they're bandages. Why? Well, because Derek McAma unfortunately left the team. He wanted to get a full-time job. He's gone. But we've actually been buoying everything, and this is tonight, the first time back, got the entire D-Corps. So the D-Corps should be great. Dante Suffredini's back. Ryan Rotundi's back. Josh Colton, it's his birthday today, so we got the dynamic duo between him and Suffredini going back and forth. So it's really good. The roster churn is starting to settle out on our side. Not so much for Port Huron. They just put a guy in IR. Yeah, Tucker Scantleberry not in the lineup tonight. And some self-inflicted wounds have healed. Trevor Babin back from suspension. And a big one. Been out for a while, but Pavel Svinsov is back in the lineup. And a lineup that desperately needs a little bit of firepower, I think is going to get it with Svinsov. He was a guy that we both noticed a lot before his injury. Now that he's back, played last week, and hoping he gets a warm reception back in front of his home fans. Yeah, and that was the thing. You know, he got injured during the Elmira series in Game 1, Period 1. Hadn't come back, but since he came back, get this, Brady, he's on a 4-game point streak. They're all apples, but he's contributing. He's finding his rhythm. He's still getting the puck where it needs to be, centering the opportunities that are there. He's good for that, but we're just waiting for him to finally get a goal. But that 4-game point streak coming back from injury, that helps because you have guys like Declan Conway who's going to be out tonight. We have other guys playing in other leagues that were our top goal scorers like Scott Koash and TJ Delaney. They're actually doing pretty good where they're playing, but need to find guys to start getting goals as well. Pavel's a good candidate. And such is life in the Fed. There's not going to be a Fed team that keeps the roster they had. Hey, we have it in October. These are our guys that play well. You're not going to keep those guys through the whole season, whether it's from becoming inactive or getting a call up to the coast or injury. It just isn't going to happen. That's reality. And that's where a job for Nick Field becomes tough because there's not a lot of leagues to go and say, hey, why don't you come play for us? So you have to find spots where maybe guys are a little older, and we've seen some older guys come in for a weekend or two to help keep the wins coming, because if you hit a lull, it's going to be tough to catch up. And if you look at the standings right now, Motor City still a significant gap behind Binghamton. They are 16 points back, only 1 game in hand. They have some work to do to catch the Black Bears, but they're coming up, and if they keep winning, they're going to put some pressure on Binghamton. Well, that's just the thing. Binghamton at home has been unbeatable. Those Black Bears in their own forest, in their own barn up there in New York, they are unbeatable. They have gotten a point in every home game so far this season, and we're all at the halfway point. After this weekend, we're at the halfway point. We'll have played 28 games. That gap seems insurmountable, but you still got to chase them. You still got to go bear hunting and see if you can get them. But the good news is Motor City, even though they're trailing, they're still in that top 4 bracket of the league. You still have Columbus and Carolina in the Continental. You have Binghamton and Motor City in the Empire still pacing the pack at a pretty good pace. Danbury nipping at the heels a little bit in the Empire, but you keep winning, you keep them at bay, you can still continue with the bear hunt. An important home-and-home series coming up this weekend, starting here at Big Boy Arena against the Port Huron Prowlers. Before we send it over to the starting lineups, I want to remind you that if you're looking to change your insurance coverage, Ronald Schocker is your local Farm Bureau insurance agent located in Shelby Township off of Van Dyke. He and his team have been protecting and providing Michigan families with auto, home, life, and health since 2016. For all your insurance needs, trust Michigan Farm Bureau agent Ronald Schocker and request a quote today. We'll step aside for the starting lineup and national anthem. We'll have puck drop when we come back here on the Rockers Media Network. Back here at Big Boy Arena, Port Huron and Motor City getting ready to drop the puck, renew what has been a rivalry, been played early and been played often. But let's send it over to Ben Zalagi for the starting lineups from both sides. Ben.
Yeah, starting in goal for the Port Huron Prowlers tonight will be wearing number 31, Tucker Tynan, out of Deerfield, Illinois. The two men in front of him, the defensive pairing of a guy I do not like seeing, number 6, Mitch Jones, has a really good shot, been really good for Port Huron. He's going to be paired with number 25, Alex Johnson. The front line, guys look very familiar. Number 88, Sam Gagne, who has just signed to the team, also played for Port Huron last year. Dalton Jay and Evan Foley, of course, head coach is Matt Graham. And for Motor City, in net, he needs no introduction, but he is known as the Dark Knight. From Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, number 72, Trevor Babin. The two men in front of him, a pair we have not seen in quite some time. Number 4, Josh Colton. It's his birthday, from Los Angeles, California. And Dante Suffredini from Selby Township. He returns to the lineup tonight. And on the front line at left wing, Mike Wynn, normally playing defense, but he's going to be a winger tonight. TJ Sneath will be your center, and the other wing will be Pavel Svintsov from Yakshar Okla, Russia. Of course, Gordy Brown coaching the Rockers, along with Corey Swider and Danny Vanderweel.
Last time these two teams matched up, it was a Rockers win. It was not a pretty game, but it was a win for Motor City. Port Huron in their road white uniforms. Motor City in their alternate purples. Both sides ready to go. Foley draws against Sneath, and the Rockers control it. We are underway on a Friday night. Thank you so much for joining us, whether you're on our YouTube feed or new tonight. You can watch us on X as Colton takes a clapper from the top of the right wing circle. Can't get it by Tynan, and Tynan's helmet is off.
Well, now they should blow the whistle.
Going on, and Tynan pushes the I don't know why they waited to blow the whistle. Whether the play's going on right in front of the net or not, the helmet off is an automatic whistle.
It is. I can understand the officials saying, hey, look, the puck's going out of the zone. But once the puck touches Motor City's stick, that's when you have to blow the whistle. And that's what, Tyron was saying, hey, they've now touched the puck. What are we doing? And they were about to come back through the other way. So he said, fine, I'll take matters into my own hands, and pulled an Ian Wallace and threw the net off the moorings.
Now, the only thing that I'm curious about is the whistle was eventually blown in the neutral zone, but if it was blown when the helmet initially came off, where the draw would be.
Well, there's that. As
it stands, the draw in the neutral zone in front of the Rockers bench. Giuliano, the winger of the game, wins the draw.
Yep, fan saves. Of course, just download the app. Gets a goal, you get 6 free wings.
Number 53, Jonathan Giuliano, the winger of the game. Schumacher controls it for Port Huron, up to Merritt. Can't get it out of their own zone. It'll stay on the Port Huron side of the ice. Battle for it along the near board. Slips out, chipped away by Merritt, picks it up on his stick. Flips it over the blue line, knocked out of the air by Milam. And once again bounces up. This time it was Lambden leaping for it. Dumped in deep. Port Huron gets a change just a minute into this game. Still looking for our first goal.
Oh, that was tipped.
Was indeed. Kuhn got a piece of stick on it. Port Huron looking for the breakout. Centering feed to Freeborn. Takes it over the red line. Shovels it, backhand deep. Picked up behind by Rotundi. To the far side, Kuhn banks it off the boards. Port Huron controls it. Heinzel, the one to bring it in, sends to Graham. Back to Heinzel. Finds Freeborn. Both sides feeling each other out. Defense is being a little stingy, poking the puck away.
Yeah, both teams not really getting into an offensive flow, kind of having a trouble doing tape-to-tape passing, but it's what you can expect the first 2 minutes. Feeling each other out, doing some quick jab work, and then we'll see some body shots.
Turnover in the offensive zone. Sneath loses it. It was poked away, and Heinzel can't send it to safety. Out in front, Wynn slaps at it. It's loose. Tynan didn't know where it was, but the captain picked it up, and Evan Foley sent it to safety.
Ooh, that will make you breathe a sigh of relief.
It was sitting on the doorstep. No one came to answer. 17:37 to go rather in the first period. Still scoreless. Motor City mere inches away from a goal. Dalton J dumps it in deep. Port Huron gets some fresh legs on the ice. Rink wide pass knocked away. Wynn able to pick it up. Backhands it right to the defender Alex Johnson for Port Huron. On the far side, Mitch Jones sends it back to his defenseman Johnson. Rink wide pass into the skates of Jones. Skates in. Howitzer, and it's patted away into the corner. I lost sight of it for a moment. Thought it was going up into the stands with how hard Jones' shot is.
Yeah, Jones, like I said, I don't like seeing him. Again, it's a compliment. Jonesy has a hard shot from the outside. He's a guy who can throw a couple of daggers at you.
Former OHLer, and it's not hard to see why. You do not like to see number 6 with some space. Into the offensive zone, Giuliano. It's 1-on-5. He turns it over. Graham chips up to Federley, poked away by the veteran Milam. Rink wide feed, grabbed by Cam Burt into the offensive zone. He has it poked away once again. This time Liam Freeborn knocks it off the stick. Motor City setting up in their own zone. Kuhn, his pass knocked back to him. Burt reaches out for it. Offensive zone shot, patted away, and, well, there wasn't much he could do. It went over the head of Kuhn.
Yeah, Holt had an opportunity for the rebound. No one could settle it down, but I like that effort. The best thing about this line is the third line, but these forwards are guys that are all older. They're all, in their 30s. But they're experienced, they have high IQ, they don't need to skate a while because of that. They just know where each other are, and you saw that on that attack.
Puck in the Prowlers zone, hops over the stick of Babin. Foley chases after. Wells throws the body. Battling for it in the far corner. Milam banks it off the boards to Sneath. He flips it to safety. It'll roll on its side, and icing waved off.
Yeah, Delaney was there. It could have been an opportunity to be played by Dalton Young. You got to wave it off every time.
Svinsov in deep, pass out in front, knocked away. Couldn't get it through. Samuel Gagnon, the most recent Prowler to be signed. Svinsov behind the net, protecting the puck, looking for somewhere to send it. Centering feed, knocked away once again, goes back to neutral ice. The Rockers have to touch up. Fields sends it over the blue line, sent right back. 5 minutes into this game, still scoreless.
And that one was icing. There you go.
We will get the icing call, take us to our first media timeout. It has been a feeling out process here in the first 5 minutes. Ben, let's get shots on goal and what's going on around the Fed.
Yeah, well, the shots on goal are few, but they favor Motor City 3-1 so far through 5:06 here at Big Boy Arena. Binghamton, they're at home. What do they do when they're at home? They get points. They lead Danbury 2-0. Of course, Danbury playing without Daniel Amesbury, who's been officially released as he has got suspended for the rest of the year. Also in New York, Watertown and Elmira, they're tied at 1. Columbus and Wytheville are tied at 0. Mississippi and Carolina just dropped the puck as well. They are also at 0. So 3 games knotted up at 0. 2 games have 2 goals.
A little bit of a tighter checking game here at Big Boy Arena in Fraser, Michigan, between Port Huron and Motor City. It's a little different than what we saw on New Year's Eve.
Little bit different. Of course, on New Year's Eve, we know that was a nice little penalty fest with a hockey game mixed in. To put it nicely, Port Huron had 106 penalty minutes. Motor City had 93. There was 43 penalties called, though, on Motor City at the end of the game. Of course, we know with 3 seconds left, there was the Donnybrook that happened between Chartrand and Babin that led to a 3-game suspension. Ooh.
Resume play, still scoreless. 5 minutes into this one. Merritt skates it over the blue line, back to Chartrand, leaves it for Heinzel. Brings it in deep behind the net, poked away. Wynn fights for it. Port Huron keeps control. Chartrand from the point, shot off the glove. Scramble for it, goes to the left wing circle, picked up by Rotundi, and he's looking to send it to safety. Off the near boards to neutral ice. Sneath gets it up on the stick. Spins off, and he's denied from point blank. behind the net. Play still going on. Wynn puts it in
it's in.
close.
Is
Did
it in?
go over the line? The officials have not signaled. Tynan kept it just over that goal line. And again, the Rockers mere inches away from getting on the scoreboard first.
Man, that was inches. My goodness gracious.
Svinsov with some fancy footwork to get a chance point blank, but tip of the cap to Tucker Tynan. Stayed with them, denied it. Offensive zone draw, Giuliano wins it, but it's picked up by Freeborn. Skates over all three lines, gives far side to the Port Huron native Federley. Rink wide feed taken away. Cade Lambden working right to left. He brings it over all three. Centering feed knocked away. The coach, Matt Graham, knocks it to neutral ice, and again, neither side able to sustain much pressure going either way.
No, still filling each other out. But I know Port Huron has been dealing with injuries, so I don't know if they necessarily also want to get physical, so it might be also contributing, because by this point you should start seeing more offensive flow, more time on attack, but so far we haven't seen it from either team. We've seen it a little bit more from Motor City than Port Huron, but not a lot either way.
13:28 to go, opening period. Neither side has found the back of the net. Wells brings it in, bottom of the right circle, shot patted away to neutral ice. Picked up by the veteran Milam, backhands to Kuhn, takes it in the offensive zone, right wing circle, centering feed, and the tip goes wide left. Rockers keep possession. Milam in deep, sends to Wells behind the net. Backhands up top for Burt. Rink wide pass, deflected. Jay looking for the breakaway. Milam, right side. Burt returns to Milam, slap shot, and it's kicked away by Tynan. He set that one up perfectly, but the veteran could not beat Tynan.
That was close. A lot of these shots are just fingernails away from going in.
Parsons tries to chip it to neutral ice. He's able to do so, but Milam flips it in diagonally, and the Rockers will head to the bench, get some fresh legs out.
Yeah, here comes a quick outlet pass coming with it the other way is Port Huron.
Williams sends it in deep. Rotundi picks it up in his own zone. Schumacher from the center had it poked away. Breakout feed, Svinsov working against Parsons. He's cut off. Parsons did a nice job ending that for Svinsov. Wynn picks up the loose change. Near side battle for it. Comes back to Svinsov. Rink wide feed. Rotundi can't keep it on the stick cleanly. Fields asking for the return pass. Shot into traffic, and it's gloved by Tynan. Looked like a shortstop. Just reached down, picked it up, freezes it. 12:04 to go in the first, still scoreless.
Yeah, a lot of good recoveries by Port Huron's defense. Dalton Jay on the last attack made a good breakup as well. Motor City had a guy in the back post. Of course, just right then there was another opportunity that was taken away by good back checking by Port Huron. If they just keep doing that and muddying up the middle and making you work high to low, things might be a little bit hard to get a little goal going, get a little break in the cap. Because Motor City doesn't like working high to low. They like working even or down low.
Motor City working towards the offensive zone. Sneath brings it in. Pressured by Parsons. Leaves the puck behind him. Far hash mark.
Oh, my goodness.
And a big hit.
No.
And he's down. Sneath working his way back to his feet. Play goes on.
Man.
Sneath's still fighting for the puck. Slips back out. Rotundi asks for it. Finds the tape. Shot deflected away. Freeborn sacrificed the shin.
Good job by Fields keeping it in. Caught that deflection.
Svinsov, right wing circle, sets back up to Fields. Stick handling to the bottom of the slot. Brings it in close. The wraparound attempt knocked away, and the net off the moorings. We'll get a whistle and another draw in the Prowler zones. 11:08 to go, first period. Still looking for that first goal.
Again, you're going to hear every player in every interview, what do you want to do with the puck? Well, we want to get pucks deep. Well, it's a key component for Motor City. They like to drive down low, get centering opportunities close within 10 to 15 feet. Devin Fields, of course, a defender, carried it all the way in, had a good wraparound attempt because if you can get the rebound, you get a goal. So good things happen when pucks are deep. It's not just a cliche.
The Rockers hoping they can keep the puck in the Prowler zone. Draw goes to the right of Tynan. It's a battle for it, and a couple white jerseys pick it up. Leon Freeborn over the center ice logo. Takes it inside the blue line. Pushes it in deep. Holt behind the net, protects the puck. Looking for the breakout. It was tipped away. Foley got his stick on it. Dalton J sends up to Gagnon. Left side, poked away once again. Jay centering out in front. Point blank opportunity denied. A combination of Trevor Babin and Cade Lambden keep the score at 0.
Yeah, Lambden saw that back post vulnerable. He came in and protected it like he should. Helped out Trevor Babin in a big, big way.
Heinzel's shot deflected before it can reach the crease. Puck set between the blue lines. Lambden sends it in deep. They need some fresh legs out on the ice. In his own zone, Dalton Young gives near side for Mitch Jones. Feeds in between the blue lines. Knocked away. Graham picks it up onside. Nearly floated back between Motor City in their own zone. Centering feed Delaney. Touches it back for Burt. Sends in deep. Battle for it. Couple of white jerseys poking away. Alex Johnson working at it. Goes out far side. Federley chasing it down. Wells not far behind him. Milam couldn't keep it inside the blue line, and it'll be offside if the Rockers touch. They get back onside as the Prowlers look for the breakout. 9:27 to go, first period. 0-0 hockey game. Freeborn, right wing circle, centers out in front, and it was knocked away from Sam Merritt. He looked like he was going to have a great chance from point blank, but the Rockers defense playing pretty strong in their own end.
Doing a good job, Cam Burt doing a great job on defense. He can play both forward and defense. Again, it's why he's a teacher at a hockey school. He knows what he's doing.
Chartrand takes it in the offensive zone, but a bit premature. 9:02 to go, first period, still scoreless. Take us to our second timeout. See what the shots on goal are, and, well, after a quick 5 minutes, if anything else has happened around the Fed.
Yeah, shots on goal right now. Motor City increasing their opportunities, getting 5 more. The last time we checked in, Port Huron doubled it. How do you double from 1? You go from 1 to 2. Port Huron has 2. Motor City has 8 shots on goal. Still scoreless, though, here at Big Boy Arena. Looking out at Vision's Veteran Memorial, still 2-0 thanks to Gavin Yates and Nikita Ivashin getting goals there for the Black Bears on their 2-0 lead. Still 1-1 at First Arena in Elmira. Tate Leeson, what does he not do? Well, he gets a goal, got the first one for Watertown. Frank Tizera tied it up. Larry Vartiainen getting the primary assist there in that 1-1 game at First Arena. And then Carolina just got a goal. The Thunderbirds now leading 1-0 thanks to Josh Keplinger adding a goal there. And Columbus just got one on Wytheville as Kyle Moore getting a goal almost halfway through the first period at the Apex Center in Blue Ridge Mountain Country.
And not surprising, about midway through the season, you're starting to see the separation between the top teams and the bottom teams in the Fed. And it looks like Motor City hopefully will stay in that top grouping. Port Huron, a team that's had its ebbs and flows, but right now playing like one of the teams that's going to be hoping for a playoff run rather than sitting at home. Yeah,
right now they're 12-12-4, starting to, again, battle injuries. The physical game is not on their side. As I say that, of course, Parsons just lays out 2 players, so I might be called a liar very shortly. But it's something Port Huron's trying to weather the storm. We always know that they have trouble goaltending, but Tynan's not doing a bad job since he's been back.
Tynan playing well tonight. That's why we're still scoreless more than midway through the first period. Rotundi, far side for Fields. Shot out in front, rebound, can't be controlled.
Yeah, there it is.
Going down, Mike Wynn, and that'll be the first power play of the night for the Motor City Rockers. I think they might actually get Tynan for the trip.
Oh, that's definitely who did it. Tucker Tynan tripped Mike Wynn. So someone will go to the Kowalski Meat Locker as his representative.
And every power play this season for the Motor City Rockers is brought to you by Genesis Credit Union. Learn how Genesis can put more money in your pocket and become one of its over 200,000 members at genesiscu.com or any of their convenient locations near you.
So serving time for him will be the new guy, Caleb Williams. How do you like that? Hey, guess what? You're going to play hockey. You're going to represent our goaltender in the box. Congratulations.
Not the quarterback, the hockey player in the box for Port Huron with 8:30 to go in the first period in Motor City on the Genesis Credit Union power play has a great chance to take the 1-0 lead.
Yeah, that's right. Caleb Williams. That's a popular name. It'll be popular in April.
Yes, it will be.
And guess what? He will be in Detroit, though. The draft is in Detroit.
Yes, not too far.
So there you
be
go.
About 25 minutes from here, downtown. They're working on getting the penalty put up. Looks like it's Wynn, Sneath, Giuliano, Svinsoff at the point, along with Jamison Milam. And he's a guy that has transformed his play from last year. He came in midway through, didn't put up a ton of points. Right now, he's the second leading scorer on the Rockers. He has 5 goals, but 18 assists for the man with the A on his chest.
Yeah, he's right now tied for first with Declan Conway in points. But you're right. Last year, filling in for Ian Wallace, even we didn't know what Jamie Milan could do, right? He was feeling his way out, getting used to everything, but now he's really been a real big staple, not only in the D-corps, but in the locker room. He's the guy's big brother. He looks out for him. He always does what he needs to do. He teaches these guys about professionalism. He has been just an absolute great replacement. I mean, how do you replace an NHLer? You can't. But you can when you have a veteran guy like Jamison Milam. It makes it look easy. He wears that yoke around his back as a beast of burden, but he likes doing it. And he looks good doing it too. Had that big goal in overtime last weekend as well.
And still struggling to get the I guess you technically don't need it up there. I mean, at 6:30 he's coming out.
Yeah.
So I think they're just going to say, hey, it's 6:30. As long as everyone's on the same page, that's when Williams will be released.
Well, that's what's lucky about it being on even numbers, right? It's 8:30. So here's
Svinsoff off the draw, slap shot sticked away, had a good look, and Tynan stands tall. Right back to the Russian, pass knocked away, and Svinsoff knocks it down, but not before it enters neutral ice. Have to be wary of 92 in white. He loves to pounce shorthanded. He has made a career out of scoring down a man.
And the funny thing is, he only has 5 goals near the midway point of the season. He's a guy who should be in double digits right now. He's lacking.
For what we've come to expect from Dalton Jay, certainly not at the pace we'd expect. About 40 seconds gone in the man advantage for Motor City. And at 6:30 is when they will release Williams. Win into the offensive zone. Johnson pushes him to the boards. Battle on the far side. 3 purple jerseys, 2 white battle for it. Johnson still poking, prodding at it. Rockers come away with it for a moment. Svinsoff sends back to Milam at the point. Gives back Svinsoff, right wing circle across to Giuliano. Shot doesn't even make it to Tynan. It was Alex Johnson that got in the way. Under a minute to go in the man advantage, about 45 seconds to be precise. Puck backhanded all the way down to Trevor Babin. And the Rockers will have about half a minute to try and break this scoreless tie. 7 minutes to go in the first period. Still goose eggs on the board. Puck goes up to Kuhn. Rings it around the boards. Parson chases after it for Port Huron. Battle for it near side. It squirts across to the far. Colton picks it up. To the point, Suffredini fakes the shot, holds on to it. 13 seconds to work with till we're back to 5-on-5 hockey. Suffredini, right side, Colton. Returns to Suffredini. Shot goes, it hits Kuhn and deflects into the corner. And that will kill the penalty as Caleb Williams comes out. Kuhn, point-blank shot, knocked loose, and the rebound still out there. Rockers holding on to it. Holt sent it back to Suffredini. Shot doesn't make it through traffic, and Heinzel slaps it all the way down. And I think just out of necessity, Port Huron takes an icing call.
Yeah, all those guys, though, were desperately sprinting to the bench. It was a good power play pelt by Port Huron. They are dead last in the league on the PK. They did a good job, though, battling, earning their rest, but they can't get it because they iced the puck. They just had a mental error. That usually happens when you're tired. They're going to have to earn another clear to see if they can get to the bench as quickly as possible.
Well, I think Heinzel just said, I'll take an icing. I just need a moment to catch my breath. Give us a draw and a chance to clear the zone. Right on cue, the Prowlers win the draw. Freeborn Tries to dump in deep, but Devon Fields able to knock it down, keep possession. Puck back deep in the Rockers' end, and some fresh Prowlers come on the ice. Lambden near side. Jay throwing the body around, something you don't see 92 doing too often. Jay up the left side, shot patted away, back behind the net. 92 picks up his own miss. Sent up for Thompson, he can't hold on to it. Knocked into the corner. Still a battle for it. Matt Graham falls to the ice. Fields working on it. And Graham holding his face. I don't know if he took a stick and the right arm's up. Are we going to get a penalty here? A high stick. And I think Fields is going to the box for 2.
That's what it looks like. He's getting the escort.
If that's the case, it'll bring up the penalty kill, brought to you by Insight Healthcare. If you're not feeling yourself, visit one of Insight's locations across Southeast Michigan for all your medical needs and get some insight into your health today.
Well, Matt Graham might need some insight around his jaw. Good thing is he didn't bleed, so there is that.
Believe it'll just be 2.
Yeah, it's just going to be 2.
I think they're asking for clarification.
Yeah, they just told him since it's not on the board, it's going to be 2.
At 3:28 is when Fields will be released, but the Prowlers go on the power play. Freeborn sends back, and it skips over the stick of Johnson. Prowlers will have to reset just moments into the man advantage.
That's not ideal.
Johnson skates it in himself, works around the defender. Pass across the Foley, broken up. Johnson back to the point for Freeborn. Returns left side. Johnson on the left wing circle to Freeborn right side. Jones slap shot kicked away by Babin. Picked up by Johnson behind the net. Evan Foley returns to Johnson. A very pragmatic, a cerebral approach from the Prowlers. Johnson throws on net, gloved by Babin. Saw that one all the way. 4:44 to go in the first period. Little over, call it about 1:20 to go on the penalty kill for Motor City.
Yeah, Johnson's not happy with himself. Why? Because Babin was able to hold and keep it on. I believe Johnson was hoping it would be a shot for a rebound because you had Jones right there on the back post to put one away, and that's why he was upset.
Still scoreless here at Big Boy Arena. 4:44 left to go in the first. Last media timeout of the first period. Let's take one last look at the shots on goal and what's happening around the league. Ben.
Yeah, well, shots on goal still favor Motor City. They added 3 since the last time we brought it up. 11-5 out shooting Port Huron. Of course, still scoreless here at Big Boy Arena. Still 2-0 out at Vision's Veteran Memorial. Binghamton has a 2-0 lead over Danbury. That helps us in the standings either way. Danbury can't catch us if they're losing. And whoa, Elmira, out of nowhere, have scored 2 more unanswered goals here in the second period. Christopher Magi got 1, and Frank Tizera got his second of the game. They now lead 3-1 over the Wolves. Speaking of the Wolves, the Sea Wolves are down to Carolina. They added another one. Yuri Pastuka makes it 2-0, and Columbus still has a 1-0 lead thanks to Kyle Moore over Blue Ridge.
Still looking for goal number 1 here in Motor City. Port Huron on the power play until 3:28 left to go in the first period. Offensive zone draw for the Prowlers is get the thumbs up from the scorer's area. Clean win right to Jones. Sends back to Johnson on the hash marks. Freeborn, that same unit, stays out after the timeout. Some fresh legs. Rink wide pass gets knocked away. Jones pokes at it behind the net. Over to Freeborn. Left wing circle. In deep, Foley looking for somewhere to send it behind the goal line. Back to Freeborn around Jones. Shot gets closed. Looked like he was trying to go 5-hole. Another attempt doesn't make it to Babin. Gets lifted up and over. Scramble for it. It's in the blue. It got knocked into the stomach of Giuliano. Clearing attempt knocked away. Johnson walks it in. It's poked away. And Giuliano sends to Milam. And he might have a 2-on-1 if he hurries. Over to Lambden. He takes his time. His pass knocked away. And a whistle and a penalty. And Milam took exception to the hit from Johnson. And that'll negate the next 27 seconds of power play. And Alex Johnson heading to the Kowalski meat locker. See exactly what the call is.
That is charging. Johnson just took a beeline to Lambden. My goodness.
So Johnson going to the box. 2 minutes for charging. And that'll negate the rest of the Prowler power play. We'll have 4-on-4 hockey until there's 3:28 left to go in the first. And then it'll be just over 90 seconds of a Genesis Credit Union power play for the Rockers.
I do not like that. I understand, you see a guy wide open like that, but when his back's turned to you, and you're going to take 7 steps to lay him out, that's unprofessional.
Colton throws on net, hits off the post. Here it ring throughout Big Boy Arena. Yeah, Johnson, he took the hit, he pays the price. He's sitting in the Kowalski meat locker right now. For 2 minutes for charging.
Yeah, don't pay the price. Get a quality hot dog. Get a Kowalski.
On the near side, puck knocked loose. Matt Graham racing with it. Doesn't have a lot of help. Right wing circle poked away by Colton. Centering feed. Finds a stick, but it's on a purple jersey. Back to the 5 men on the ice for Motor City. Colton trying to set up the power play. Everyone now has their stick. Holt lost it for a moment. Back to neutral ice, and the Rockers have to reset. Chipped in deep by Parsons. 3 minutes left to go, first period. Still looking for goal number 1.
Did you let that guy in? How did we get another mascot?
I was going to ask you the same thing.
Slash has friends. Who knew?
Apparently. Milam keeps it in. Is Federle tries to work it up and out of the zone. Svinsoff takes it away, leaves back for Rotundi. Fakes the shot back to Svinsoff. Sends in deep. Giuliano can't control it. Back to Svinsoff. Time running out of the Genesis Credit Union power play. Back to Giuliano. Returns to Rotundi. Fakes the shot. Gives Milam left wing circle in close for Sneath. Turns around back to the point, and it hits off of Rotundi's stick. Goes back to neutral ice. Port Huron will get a chance to reset, get some fresh legs on the ice.
Yeah, not looking very cohesive right now. This power play is looking very disjointed.
2 minutes left to go in the first period. Port Huron moments away from their second penalty kill of the night. Milam, left wing circle, shot swallowed up by Tynan. We're going to whistle, and we're back to 5-on-5 hockey.
Yeah, tried to get it underneath that right arm of Tucker Tynan. Couldn't do it. Tynan closed it up, but you like the effort, though.
Motor City's had opportunities. Tucker Tynan keeping the Rockers off the board. Graham will duel against Kuhn. Wins the draw. Suffredini fakes the shot. Has it poked away. Look out. Liam Freeborn. Flubbed the breakaway attempt. Maybe got just a bit too excited. Out in front. Graham had a shot from the doorstep. Denied by Babin.
Well, again, breathe a sigh of relief.
Graham in the offensive zone. Pressured. Pass out in front. Can't find the stick. Picked up by Suffredini. Gives near side. Wells. Flips to the blue line where Brian Parsons of Port Huron sends it back in deep. 80 seconds left to go, first period. Still scoreless. Both goalies have been perfect. Long diagonal pass does not find the mark. Wynn sends it in deep, chases after it. Alex Johnson to the far side. One touch pass left for Sim. Svinsoff battling for it. He spins around, loses the puck, picks it back up on the Prowler blue line. Final minute of play, first period. And it feels like it's a battle between these two blue lines to get any sustained pressure in 5-on-5 action.
Yeah, both these teams. It's been an interesting 20 minutes.
Just over half a minute to play. Chasing after it, Chartrand. Left wing circle, shot goes wide right. On the near boards, Johnson puts it in deep. Jay pins Milam to the glass. Federle shot, and it's knocked away. Getting in front of that one, Cam Burt. Final 15 seconds of the period. Puck goes to neutral ice. Port Huron has time for one final rush as Alex Johnson takes it over. Dalton Jay can't get it to the stick. One desperate attempt later, and 20 minutes gone. Still a 0-0 hockey game. Ben, this has been a back and forth affair, and two teams that usually light the lamp a lot against each other have been held scoreless.
Yeah, it's been a little disjointed hockey, a little bit back and forth, but you know what? You'll take it. Motor City still had a couple of better opportunities. You don't like Liam Freeborn getting a nice clear walk down Broadway to get a nice shot at the ticket booth, but luckily he flubbed it. He tried to pull the money out of the pocket, and the money blew away. So there you go.
Let's take what was the final shot on goal tally for the first period. We'll get some final thoughts, and then we will bring a guest on for our first intermission.
Yeah, shots on goal, Motor City holding on to 11. Port Huron getting a little bit of a push in the closing seconds. They now have 7, so Motor City leads 11-7. Of course, still scoreless here at Big Boy Arena.
So, Ben, final thoughts on that first period. I thought it was, again, obviously a little bit of a tighter game. Weren't trading chances up and down. Thought Tucker Tynan played pretty well. And Trevor Babin made some big saves. Mitch Jones had a few chances from the slot that Babin stood tall with.
Yeah, it's right now a pitcher's duel in every way, shape, and form, right? The offenses are doing what they can, but it's also really good back pressure. Port Huron, you got to give those guys credit. When the puck is in the D zone, they have been covering for Tynan all night long. And Tynan also, as you said, made a couple of great saves, doing a good job as well. He's going to be tough to beat when he gets good back pressure help as well. But again, Trevor Babin looking pretty good in his second game back. So starting to get into a groove there. We're seeing the Dark Knight do Dark Knight things, which is see the puck on in and freeze it when he can.
All right, so that'll do it for the hockey, but we're going to welcome in an old friend. Remember last year, Kenny Cott joined us. He was kind enough to come back this year. Kenny, thanks for coming back. Glad to have you back.
Thanks for having us, boys. This has been this is a good first period, tight checking. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, a little different. I mean, usually, like we were talking about, when these two teams play, it's a high-scoring affair, but I'd like to hope that through the efforts, through the organization, we spruced up Big Boy Arena a little bit.
I was going to say,
year.
when I was driving in, I was like, wow, this parking lot's a little bit fuller. Last time I was here, there weren't as many people. This place, spruced up, a lot of new stuff it looks like, but it looks like this crowd is having a good time as well.
Well, anytime Port Huron comes to town, it's the local rival. They bring a good contingency. And this place, it's not a very tall roof. There's no place for the sound to go.
Right. We saw it at Ford Field. There's just no place for that sound to go.
Talking with Kenny Cott, 97 won the ticket, producer on the afternoon show with Valeni and Rico. So let's talk about that, being in Detroit and how much a year can change with the fortune of the sports here in the Motor City. Not only the Lions having the season they're having, but the Red Wings look like they're destined for a playoff spot. There's optimism with the Tigers in baseball season. How's it been for you guys just feeling the vibe in the city and how it can carry over even to the minor league rink here in Fraser?
You know what's funny is people think that because some people at our station are quote-unquote negative about the teams,
right?
People think that we're rooting for our teams to lose when, in fact, when the Lions are good, our ratings are good. When the Red Wings are good, our ratings are good. And even all the way down to the Motor City Rockers. I mean, this place is filled up more than I've seen, and it looks like people, A, are having a good time, but B, I mean, I've never seen this. I've never seen this. I've come here my entire life since I was a kid. That is a very full parking lot you got out there.
Yes, it is. It fills up quickly, and I see you're wearing your Rockers hat, and I see a lot of people now, even just out in the wild once in a while, I'll see some Rockers merch. I think a lot of people seem to like the logo and the color scheme.
I saw a shirt walking around the mall the other day.
Yeah,
I saw the black shirt with the purple Rockers logo in the middle. I was like, hey, look, they're gaining some traction here. I also saw you guys during the summertime. I saw you on basically every media platform you can imagine, whether it be the news, the newspaper. It didn't matter. I saw full media campaign blitz, and it looks like it's worked out for you.
Nick Field was a busy
Shout out
man.
Nick Field.
Yeah,
Nick Field's a good dude.
He is everywhere, seemingly. And a big shout out to Scott Brand, our team president. We'll have him on in the second intermission. It's been a concerted effort to, hey, last year was a foundation laying year, and this year we're taking the next step. But no, enjoying the game. Glad you're back out here. Any other thoughts? I mean, seems like this has been a pretty well played hockey game early on.
Well played. Looking forward to some goals. From what I saw in other box scores of these two teams, it looks like they score a lot more goals.
Yeah.
So I'm just waiting on that explosion. I feel like once the first puck goes in, you're going to see 2, 3, 4 more right in a row.
Well, you will see the explosion, and usually tempers flare a little more. It's not a long fuse. When it happens with these two teams. But let's hope both sides behave and give you a pretty fun hockey game.
I'm hoping the both sides don't exactly behave 100%. I'd like to see a little bit, mixing it up a little bit here.
Well, Kenny, thanks so much for coming up to the booth. Thanks again for coming by. You know, we got some fans here. You're a celebrity, Kenny. You're always welcomed here. Thanks for coming by, and thanks for supporting the Rockers.
Oh, yeah, thank you guys for having me. I'll pop on your YouTube feed every so often to see how the squad is doing, man. We appreciate you.
That's Kenny Cott. I'm Brady Beaton, and Ben Zalagi will be back with us at the start of the second period. Still scoreless between Port Huron and Motor City here on the Rockers Media Network.
All right, everyone, welcome back to Big Boy Arena. I'm Ben Salagi. Want to remind you that anytime you bring your family here to a Rockers game, we have the Genesis Kids Zone, where kids can play cornhole, they can get their face painted, play a little game of mini sticks as well right here on the concourse. Of course, on Friday night through the rest of the season, first responders, you just got to show your badge. You get in for free, and you get a discount on a couple of tickets as well. So thank you for Genesis Credit Union allowing us to help out our first responders in that way. And of course, next Saturday, you're going to want to be here at Big Boy Arena as well. Autism Acceptance Night on Saturday against the Blue Ridge Bobcats. It'll be fun. Freddie the Pizza Man will be here. We have specialty jerseys as well that we will probably auction off, and that will help Freddie the Pizza Man's Foundation. One last thing we want to remind you as well. Lasting Impressions Promotional Marketing is the official merchandise provider of the Motor City Rockers. This family-owned Michigan business is conveniently located in Canton, Michigan. So if you're looking for corporate branding with excellent value at an economical price, check out Lasting Impressions at litem.com. That's litem.com, a proud partner of your Motor City Rockers. Let's quickly check in what's going on around the league. Still, Binghamton has that 2-0 lead over Danbury at Visions Veteran Memorial. That is late in the second period right now. We're going to quickly travel to First Arena, where Watertown got one back on Elmira. The River Sharks still leading 3-2. Tate Leeson has 2 goals. Frank Tizera has 2 goals, and Christopher Magi has a goal as well. And Carolina doubling up Mississippi. They lead the Seawolves 4-2 out in Winston-Salem. Right now, that game through the first period, Josh Keplinger already has a hat trick for Carolina. Yuri Pastuca has the 4th goal. And Jackson Bond and Danny Lisco has 2 goals for Mississippi. And the River Dragons still struggling with Blue Ridge. Blue Ridge has been playing people tough, as that is still a 1-0 game after 2. The only goal scored by Kyle Moore of the River Dragons. But again, Blue Ridge has been playing well. They've been playing tough. We started our home opener against Blue Ridge, and they were a team that put up a fight then, put us in a shootout in game 1. We beat them in game 2, and then beat us 7-1 the last time we were down there last weekend in Virginia.
Well, Blue Ridge is going to have to start fighting, currently in the basement of the Continental Division. Yep. And the team they're trying to catch is actually Port Huron or Mississippi. Prowlers do have a game in hand of the Seawolves, but they're going to have to figure out soon, because right now, 19 points out of a playoff spot.
Yeah, and that is a lot to come back from, but it seems like they're starting to find at least some part of a winning formula down there.
Back here at Big Boy Arena, still scoreless as we get ready for the second period. And Ben, I liked a lot of what the Rockers did in the first. I thought they had some high-quality opportunities. Hey, the other team's getting paid too. I think Tucker Tynan did a nice job, stopped some high-quality opportunities, maybe had a little bit of luck some of the times when the puck was sitting right there on the doorstep and just couldn't knock it in. Hopefully the Rockers can get a little more luck and finish some opportunities here in the second period.
Yeah, goal has to be got, right? I mean, there's been a couple of good opportunities, but one thing they have to shore up is their power play. Over 2 right now. They had a really good opportunity with the first power play they had, but that second one just looked completely disjointed and out of sorts. You got to shore it up. You are the number 1 power play team in the league by a wide margin. You got to start banging one home, or else that is going to just drop. So I'd like to see that get tightened up a little bit, but so far liking the back pressure that Motor City's doing. Trevor Babin's getting help from his defenders, because the entire D-core is back and is starting to show. They're able to freelance a little bit. Trevor has more confidence with the guys in front of him. Things are starting to come together.
Both teams coming out for warm-ups here in the second period. And again, I'm curious to see how this second period goes. Does it stay tight checking? Does it stay more of a defensive struggle? Or does it open up a bit and you start trading opportunities at both ends?
Oh, that's the thing. I don't know what the back pressure that both teams have been doing. I don't know if it's going to open up. I think this one might be one of those classic Motor City Port Huron games where it's a 4-2 win, 3-2 win for one team or the other. I mean, out in McMorton Place, those games have been tight all the way through this season so far, and whoever gets to 10 first is lucky, but it's going to be hard to get a goal tonight. And I don't know what's going to happen in the second period. You would hope that things start opening up a little bit. Motor City's not exactly a strong first period team per se. They usually start getting things going in the second period, but we won't have long to find out if they're able to open the can or not.
And like our friend Kenny Cott said during the intermission, maybe it's a game where once the first one goes in, the dam breaks, and all of a sudden it's a track meet.
Yeah, that's very well, and that's how they happen too, right? I mean, you can get a couple of goals in a 30-second span, really boost your confidence, but Motor City's still trying to juggle through this roster construction with its forwards. The D-core is back, but the forwards still, trying to find their place in the offense so far.
Second period underway. Motor City takes the opening possession. Backhanded in deep by Mike Wynn. Tynan plays it, rings it off the high glass. Colton controls it inside the zone. Far side, Suffredini throws on net. It's knocked away, and Svintsov couldn't reach the stick out. Had a lot of net if he could.
Yeah, he's a tall guy. He could have easily done it, but just caught flat-footed.
Prowlers work out of the offensive zone. Bank pass to Merritt. 3-on-1 over to Jones. Returns, and Merritt buries it. Beautiful display of passing in just 35 seconds into the second period. Port Huron takes the 1-0 lead.
Beautiful play by Mitch Jones. What do I say about Mitch Jones? I don't like seeing number 6, and that's why. He's smart, held onto the puck very last second, got a big opportunity back to Merritt, and it's a 1-0 game.
Held onto that puck for a while, made Trevor Babin commit, took away the near post, and with not a lot of defensive help, was able to slide it across the blue paint, and Merritt taps it in. 1-0. Port Huron on top. Motor City now chasing. Young. Pass gets knocked away. Battle for it in front of the Prowlers bench. Skips up. On the near side, off the high glass. Hits the rafters. Don't see that too often. We'll get a whistle.
Well, usually they miss the rafters. I mean, we've said before, it's not exactly a high ceiling, but
Graham takes the offensive zone draw against his former teammate, Jonathan Giuliano. Jules wins the draw in the own zone. Long pass does not have a home. Younger couldn't play it. Elias Thompson chasing after it behind the net. Bounces off his stick up to the point. Slap shot, and it's kicked away by Tynan. Burt trying to beat Tynan, unable to do so. The Prowler netminder freezes. Get another draw.
Yeah, Motor City now just starting to realize they got to pepper the net. They got to go back to that strategy. Get shots on goal. See if you can get one for a rebound. Motor City, when they're in a rut, likes to do that. Starting to find that out now when they're only down a goal.
Draw one by Port Huron in their own zone. Puck gets knocked away. Federally kicks it into neutral ice.
Oh, man, that could have been trouble.
Schumacher resets over to Parsons. Feeds sticks to Freeborn. Sends it in deep. Babin elects not to play it. Federally tips it to the far side. Port Huron buzzing a bit after that goal. Parsons on the blue line. Shot gets knocked away by Delaney. Returns to Parsons. The D-man sends it wide of the net. Picked up by Motor City. Backhanded far side. Was up in the air. And it's a battle for it. Coming away with it, Motor City centering feet. Tip back to Delaney. Wells picks it up. Backhand pass between the legs. Doesn't lead to much. Still in the zone. Sneath chips it back in. Sent back out to neutral ice. Rotundi chases after it. He'll pick it up in his own zone. 17:49 to go, second period. Prowlers on the Sam Merritt goal have taken the edge.
Yeah, and as you said, they're starting to play with a little more confidence, a little more ability to freelance. Their chests are out. Their back is straight. They're feeling pretty good about themselves right now.
Svintsov with speed. Deke does not lead to much, and Port Huron takes the puck right back. Dan Chartrand over the blue line, stops right wing circle, centers to Johnson, sends it wide of the net. Rebound still loose. Banks out. Jones able to keep it in with the outstretched stick. Slap shot, and it's snagged out of the air by Trevor Babin.
Oh, my goodness.
That was a fastball that Babin had to reach up and grab.
Well, I don't even think he needed to necessarily stop it. I didn't think he just wanted to. I mean, again, Mitch Jones has a hard, fast shot. If you blink, you miss it. So it's a good way to train your eyes, watch the puck come in and freeze it. I don't think it was going to be on target necessarily, but again, like to see Babin freeze it nonetheless.
Draw comes to the left of Trevor Babin. Matt Graham wins the offensive zone draw. Johnson throws on net. It gets knocked away. Giuliano and Graham battle for it in the far corner. Off the glass, poking, prodding. Port Huron comes away with it. Freeborn hangs on to the puck. Couple of purple jerseys come to pressure. Graham touches it to the near corner. No one wants to pick the puck up.
No, everyone's struggling. Still trying to get it out of that D zone. Here's the attempt, though.
Giuliano finally relieves some pressure. Elias Thompson to the offensive zone. Leaves back for Holt. Can't hold on to it. And Port Huron gets the puck right back on their sticks. To neutral ice, Suffredini picks up the loose puck. Pass goes between the wickets of Thompson. He slaps at it in deep, and the Rockers will send some fresh legs onto the ice.
Yeah, good play by Big Sexy. Just dumps it in, allows fresh legs. It's the little things, though.
Cam Burt in his own zone. Touches it over to Suffredini, the D-man, all the way up near the red line, and even if he touched it, it was on the wrong side of center ice. It's an icing call and a draw once again back in the Rocker zone.
Yeah, again, this pressure starting to tilt the other way, right? It's only 4 minutes in. Motor City struggling to come out of that tunnel with bad intentions. So far, the Prowlers making the right adjustments, pushing the right buttons so far.
Offensive zone win. Jay throws on net. It's kicked away by Babin. Battle in front of the net. Suffredini was getting pretty friendly with Tristan Sim.
Yeah, Sim's been one of those guys playing with a bad attitude, coming again with bad intentions. Babin makes the save there, but Tristan's also starting to get some shot confidence. See that goal he had in Blue Ridge? Just flicked it from the wall. No one thought it went in, and he was the first one with his hands up, and the official went, yeah. That went back post and in.
Sometimes it just takes one.
Well, that was his first clean one. The other one he had was a deflection.
Just under 4 minutes into the second period. Port Huron leads it 1-0 on the Sam Merritt goal. The Rockers on their heels this whole period. Port Huron makes a change. Jones Johnson comes out. Draw in the Rocker zone, and the Prowlers once again take possession. Pass out in front just past Merritt. He would have had a great shot at number 2. Jones just taking whatever he can. Shot on net, doesn't make it to Babin. Up the zone, win. Shot deflected by Merritt out in front, and the backhand denied by Tynan. It was a great opportunity for number 17, TJ Sneath, not to be.
Yeah, Sneath is on a little bit of a goal drought.
Sneath knocked to the ice. Sim keeps it in deep. Chartrand in the corner. Off the far boards. Ends up with Dalton J. In their own zone. Hits Foley as maybe leaving a little early. Svintsov hoping for the odd man rush.
No, if you can cherry pick a little bit, doesn't hurt.
Johnson over the blue line. Turns it over. Feed up to Holt. He's knocked off the puck, and Johnson picks it up in his own zone. Thompson chases after him. Seen a lot more of number 8 this period than we have before.
Well, temperature's starting to come up a little bit. I think Thompson is trying to keep Johnson in check. He's been circling him a couple of times. So
14:39 to go in the second period. Prowlers up 1-0 for the media timeout. Ben, let's check in shots on goal and if anyone else has scored around the league.
Yeah, we can quickly check that as the tabs update. Right now, shots on goal even in the second period, 3-3. Motor City leads, though, overall 14-10. Of course, Port Huron has the 1-0 lead thanks to a goal scored by Sam Merritt. Still 2-0 out at Visions Veteran Memorial. They are through 2 periods, though, so the Black Bears still have that 2-0 lead, so that still helps us. Still 4-2 at First Arena out in Elmira, and it's now 4-3. Mississippi getting one back near the end of the first period. Hugo Koch getting a big one to pull. The Seawolves within 1 on the Thunderbirds, and the River Dragons just holding on to their 1-0 lead against Blue Ridge. So kind of surprising that score, but again, Blue Ridge has been playing people tough. Again, can they get those wins they need? Who knows, but they're not going away without a fight.
And neither the Prowlers or the Rockers going to go away without a fight. This has all the makings of another classic installment of the I-94 rivalry. Right now, Port Huron leads it 1-0. The Rockers maybe could use the timeout, almost hit the reset button.
Got to do it. Got to find out what's going to work, who's going to get that first one. But it came at a good time because this second period has not been in the Rockers' favor. You get a little bit of a breather. It's almost like a boxing match right in between rounds. You check in on each other, see what's working, and then change the strategy if you need to.
Rotundi backhands for Fields, returns to Rotundi, going the wrong direction. Up to Burt. He tips it as it goes into the offensive zone. Picked up right away by Dalton Young. Marysville native sends it up the boards, off the glass. Bounces near Graham. And picked up by Cam Burt. Skates it into the offensive zone through some pressure across, hits Giuliano's skate, and Port Huron gets it up and out of the zone. Freeborn, rink-wide pass, hits off the skate, returns to Freeborn. Federally shot, doesn't make it through traffic. Burt the other way to Giuliano, does not have numbers, stays in neutral ice, eventually dumped in deep, and Motor City will make a change. 13:49 to go, second period, Rockers chasing a goal. Along the near boards, Port Huron. And Sim, along with Freeborn, takes it in the offensive zone. Waiting for the cavalry to come, was a bit delayed. Delaney off the boards. Suffredini picks it up, gives up to, that was, I believe, returned to Delaney as it's turned over, blockered away by Babin.
Yeah, Delaney's been getting a little bit of alligator arms in the neutral zone. He's had an opportunity to carry the puck through, made business decisions. He's not one to take a big hit.
Flip deep into the offensive zone. That's Kuhn trying to throw the body. Schumacher behind his zone net, setting up the breakout. Turns around, taking his time. Wells pressuring, forcing Schumacher to make a decision. Flubbed on a pass, spins around. 27 still has the puck. Feed misses the target. Suffredini picks it up in neutral ice. Pass goes up, tipped by Wynn. Schumacher, who else, picks it up in his own zone, near side for Caleb Williams. Back in deep. Parsons chases after it. To the near side, TJ Sneath. Lost it. Williams up to Jay with speed, gets behind the defender, shot goes wide. Suffredini was able to alter the shot.
Yeah, they're going to get Dante for a slash, though. Came down hard across the stick. Dante, again, making a good basketball foul. I don't think if he gets his stick across Jay's stick that's not a goal.
So Suffredini takes the penalty. He'll head to the penalty box. And it is the penalty kill brought to you by Insight Healthcare. If you're not feeling yourself, visit one of the Insight Healthcare locations across Southeast Michigan for all your medical needs and get some insight to your health today.
Hey, if you need insight, guess what's up on the scoreboard?
Hey, we have 2 minutes up. Have it working this time. Don't have to do that quick math in my head.
I was going to say, could you do quick math with 17 seconds left in a minute?
It's
tricky.
Not as quick as I need to. Spinsoff off the draw. Carries it over all 3 lines. Over Milam, the shot, and it's swallowed up by Tynan. Oh, a great short-handed opportunity goes by the wayside. Rockers go down a man, and they get their best look of the period.
Almost best look of the night.
11:55 to go, second period. Prowlers on the man advantage, 1:34 to go until we're back to 5-on-5 hockey. Feed up to Foley. He has it knocked away. Sent back to the Prowlers blue line. Picked up by Alex Johnson. Leaves for his partner Liam Freeborn. Over the Rocker logo, center ice. Near side Foley takes it into the offensive zone near side. Banks it off the back wall. Sim chases after. Burt sticking off his hip. Still in the offensive zone with 1:05 to go in the man advantage. Foley, left wing circle, in deep, and it's knocked away. Freeborn had a good look, point blank. The Rockers defense stands tall. Federally one-touch pass across. Foley takes it off the boards. Near hash mark, surveys the scene. Freeborn in close, returns to Foley. Rink-wide pass, and the shot from Jones knocked away. They're lining him up. They're teeing up Jones, but Babin stood tall against number 6 Slapshot.
Yeah, stopped it with his shoulder, turned it away. But yeah, you said it just right. They're teeing up Jones to get that hard shot and even get a rebound out of it if they can.
Puck cleared from the offensive zone for a moment. Feed to Graham. He had a step, realized that he was going to lose it. Resets Parsons. Shot knocked away. 20 seconds left to go, and we're back to 5-on-5 hockey. Svensov in the corner, pinning it to the boards. He'll let that clock run away as it's poked out. Jay gives back to Schumacher. 10 seconds left to go until Suffredini's out of the box. Rink-wide pass and the one touch, and it's denied by Babin. Matt Graham from point blank does it again with Austin Federley. Still 1-0. Trevor Babin gets a standing O from this crowd, and he deserves it.
I still can't believe he stopped those two.
Matt Graham and Austin Federley, they've scored their fair share of goals in this league. And Trevor Babin playing well. The freeze from Tynan will take us to our second media timeout. Trevor Babin will get a well-earned drink of water, a well-earned break. We'll take a short break as we take a look at the shots on goal and what's going on around the league.
Yeah, well, we can see Trevor Babin standing tall just like he did on December 9th. Unfortunately, he couldn't finish the game on December 9th, but still a good sequence there. Shots on goal still favoring Motor City overall, but Port Huron now takes the lead in the period 7-6. Motor City overall 17-14. It's still a 1-0 game thanks to that goal scored by Sam Merritt early here in the second period. Still 2-0 Binghamton over Danbury. Still 4-2 with Elmira over Watertown. Still 3-4 between Carolina and Mississippi, and Columbus still holding on to their 1-0 lead as they are finally midway through the second.
9:52 left to go in the middle period here at Big Boy Arena. While we wait for the break, just saw some great goaltending from Trevor Babin. Iconic Goaltending has clinics here in Metro Detroit for young goaltenders looking to improve their game. Information on private lessons, team skates, and performance analysis can be found at iconicgoaltending.com. Draw goes in the offensive zone, and let's see if that flurry that Babin just faced looked like it got the boys going a little bit for the Rockers.
Yeah, at some point you got to pick up your goaltender. The guys know that though. But yeah, you like seeing your goaltender giving everything he can to stop a puck going through the 4x6. You got to pick him up. You got to make this game even and back to zeros.
Giuliano, pass gets knocked away. Prowlers work it up and out of the zone, and pass doesn't find the mark. Holt over the blue line. He's knocked off the puck. Foley picks it up. Battle for it in the Prowlers zone. Giuliano backhands it. Net knocked off the moorings. Get another offensive zone draw.
Yeah, that one was incidental, but sometimes when you back into the net, you're going to carry the net with you.
We're used to it here at Big Boy Arena. Yeah. Whether it's a few times or a lot of times, you know you're good for at least a couple throughout the night.
Yeah, yes you are. Too bad we can't drill into the concrete like you can in McMorran. So we got told no. We wanted to, but we got told no.
Well, Tucker Tynan's been telling the Rockers no all night long. 1-0. Prowlers on top thanks to Sam Merritt, and Tucker Tynan has stood tall. Young Pass goes through everybody across the end line, and it will be another draw in the Prowler zone.
Yeah, Jay just a little late getting to the puck. Motor City, not only did they have space, but they had a defender breaking up Jay in the blue line as well. That was going to be icing no matter what.
Svinsoff, Sneath, Wynn, along with Suffordini and Colton out there for your Rockers. Right wing draw. And a little bit of a false start. They fooled about half the people on the ice. That time the draw happens. They drop the puck. Pedal for it. They had 5 guys basically on the ice. Not too often you see a linesman fake everyone out. Suffordini backhands to the far side. Sneath takes it over the blue line. Stops on the boards, gives for a win. Left wing circle, throws on net, rebound, sitting out in front, and it's knocked away. In the corner, Rockers still control it. Sneath centers again, Win looking for Colton, he just was a step away. In front, tipped, and Tynan pads it away once again. Tucker Tynan's having himself a night.
Yes, he is. He's looking to be one of those hot goaltenders you never want to see, right? He's stopping everything. He's seeing things in, and the things he doesn't see, somehow they still stay out of the net.
Svinsoff, rink-wide pass gets tipped before it ends up with Holt. Tight angle shot, and it's saved, and the net comes off the moorings. And I think some of the Rockers fans getting a little restless. It gets old after a while, whether incidental or not. If you're a faithful Rocker fan, it can get frustrating seeing it happen often.
It can. You know, again, both these times have been incidental. Next time, though, you might get the warning anyways just because it's been 3 times in a period. But it is what it is.
Rockers controlling the possession. They'll have to touch up. Pass off the mark to Milam. Horseshoes it around the boards. Young plays it on the near side, pressured by Thompson. Dalton Young picks it up behind his own net, backhands it to Tristan Sim.
No.
Feed up to Merritt. Look out on the forehand. Shot goes wide. Didn't get too fancy with it, just missed the mark.
Thank goodness for Trevor Babin.
7:40 to go, second period, still a 1-0 hockey game. Port Huron on top thanks to 77 Merritt. Goal number 2 was rejected. Federally, back to Graham. The coach backhands it in front of the net, and it looked like a hacky sack out there. They were tipping it around.
Looked like it was bouncing a basketball.
It was, no one could settle the puck down. Right wing circle, Graham tried to go top shelf, missed high and wide. Freeborn leaves back for Parsons into the low slot. Federally from a tight angle gets knocked away. Graham behind the net has a Rocker on either side of him. Tries for a quick wraparound attempt, recovers. Short pass doesn't find the mark. Port Huron applying a lot of pressure. Parsons, shot gets knocked away, sent all the way down to the other end. Tynan comes out of the net to play it. Wells pressures, picked up left wing circle, back to Wells. Shot on net, and it's tipped up into the netting. We get another offensive zone draw.
Great sequence there by Wells. Not only does he pressure Tucker Tynan, right, he gets the opportunity to get the puck, fires it back before Tynan can truly get comfortable in the crease, because you never know. That puck could bounce off the forearm, come settle right down for an easy goal. Like the tenacity, like the focus, like the follow-up as well.
And the one thing I like that Tynan did, he committed to playing it, so he still played the puck. It was a risky play, but once you commit, you can't get half wet. As Svinsoff's shot knocked to the corner. Because if you go out and try to get back, then you're caught in no man's land, and now you're up the creek without a paddle. Far side, Johnson, centering feed, knocked away. Not sure what Rocker did it, but somebody's stick got out in front of that and sent it to safety.
My life flashed before my eyes, let me tell you.
Been a fun hockey game so far. Scoreboard not as fun, 1-0. Port Huron on top of Motor City. As the dump-in goes into the netting.
Well, at least the face-off stays in the zone, huh?
Yeah, I was curious if they were going to bring it out or leave it in the zone.
Well, they should.
Thompson, Holt, Suffordini, Colton, and Giuliano will head out for Motor City. Jones, Heinzel, Foley, Jay, and Williams. Johnson replaces Adam Heinzel.
Well, we know it's Josh Colton's birthday. If anyone in the chat knows the last time the Rockers scored on his birthday and win, you'll get my kudos. We don't have a prize to give you, unfortunately, but if you can do it, we got a trivia question for you.
I believe it happened last year, if I remember correctly. Shot goes wide of the net.
By definition, it did happen last year. By definition.
Well,
you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Neutral zone, puck picked up. Suffredini flips it into the zone, corralled by Mitch Jones. Pass tipped away. Giuliano got his stick out in front. Jones handling the puck, skates it out of his own zone. Pass intended for Jay, gets knocked wide, couldn't settle it down. Holt working up and out of his own zone. It's tipped away. Thompson pokes it in deep. Foley gives back. Suffredini, center, shot on net. Tried to get it into the chaos, and it's knocked into the corner. Colton from the blue line throws on net. It's still loose, and it's flipped up and out of the zone. Mitch Jones able to react pretty quickly. Suffredini north of the red line, in deep, and Jones goes down. Hand goes up, and it will be a penalty to Motor City. Or did they call it a hand pass?
It looked like a hand pass.
I thought when the Prowler went down that it was going to be a tripping call, because as soon as Motor City touched it.
Well, I thought just like you, Brady, but then I saw the hand pass motion, so I will take the free gift.
They called it. Didn't Motor City touch the puck after Port Huron hand passed? Okay, I'll take it. 5 minutes to go, second period, 1-0. Prowlers on top of Motor City. Been a fun one. Thank you for joining us on the Rocker Media Network, whether on YouTube or now you can watch us on Twitter or X, whatever you prefer.
Well, it's still, the URL is still twitter.com, so it just redirects from x.com to twitter.com, so it's still Twitter.
4:35 to go, second period. Delaney in the offensive zone, dumps in deep. Milam chasing after it. Young flips it to himself, over to Freeborn. Along the half wall, rink-wide pass hits off the stick of Federley. Dumps in deep. Graham chases after it. He has to battle with Tristan Wells. He gets help in the form of Liam Freeborn behind Trevor Babin. Freeborn comes away with the puck, gives back up to Parsons. Rink-wide feed, ends up with Schumacher. Back behind the net. Rockers looking for the breakout. Sticks to Sneath. Over the blue line. Right hash mark centering feed, and it was a nice job preventing and tying up Mike Wynn. Neutralized any offensive attack.
Yeah, Schumacher did a great job, and surprisingly did not draw a hooking penalty either. So win-win for Port Huron.
In close, denied by Babin. Merritt, he was sitting on the doorstep. Door was locked. Still 1-0. Port Huron on top. Feels like the next goal is going to be a big one.
Oh, it either puts you up 2 or ties the game.
Chartrand, just the way the game's going.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're going, all right, goals are coming at a pretty rapid pace. You know we're going to get another opportunity.
Sure.
I don't think there's going to be a plethora of goals in the final period and change.
Nope, doesn't look like it, not yet.
We get a whistle and our final media timeout, 3:11 to go, second period. We'll remind you that after the period ends in the intermission, we'll have team president Scott Brand on, as long as he remembers to come up and join us. We'll get a conversation with him, but before that, Ben, let's see what's going on around the Fed, and what are the shots on goal?
Well, as it looks like, Port Huron has been dominating the second period. They lead, well, they don't lead shots on goal, they lead on the scoreboard. Motor City leads overall 22-15, leads the period 11-8. Checking out around the league, it is now 2-1. Danbury got one back on the stick of none other than Johnny Ruiz.
Shocker.
I know, I am just as shocked as you are. We know Amesbury won't be scoring any goals for the hat tricks, so it has to be someone else, and first name that comes to mind, Johnny Ruiz. But it's 2-1 out at Visit Veterans Memorial. Still 4-2 in favor of Elmira over Watertown at First Arena in Elmira. Still 4-3 in Winston-Salem, favoring the Thunderbirds and the Seawolves. And it is still 1-0 between Blue Ridge and Columbus. Columbus has that 1-0 lead. Kyle Moore still the lone goal scorer. So, not going to lie, I'm shocked. Both goaltenders, Connor Green for Wyattville and Tyler Waugh, doing a great job in Columbus. Of course, Colgan went on IR this week, so Columbus is going through a couple of things, but they're still playing tough. Doesn't matter who's in net.
No, you know that's always going to be a tough team to play, especially when you have to go there. Lucky for Blue Ridge, they get them in the mountains. And we did have a Scott Brand sighting. I think he remembered he's not going to ghost us.
Well, yeah, you got the thumbs up.
Yes.
Well, Brittany Holden had a good guess in Tommy Cardinal, but that is not the right answer. Anyone else want to answer the trivia question? You can.
Dalton Jay's shot goes wide, hits off the glass. 3 minutes to go, second period. Rockers chasing a goal that came in the first minute of the middle frame. Sam Merritt tapped one in from point blank.
Just remember the trivia question. The last Rocker to score on his birthday was who? It was not Tommy Cardinal.
Far corner, Mitch Jones sends up to Dalton Jay, rink wide feed. Alex Johnson with speed into the zone. Shot gets past Babin, short side. It's a 2-0 hockey game.
That one just looked like it ripped right through the sweater.
There was a very short window to beat Babin, and tip of the cap to Alex Johnson. He did just that.
Yeah, it was nothing special, just a good clean breakout by the Prowlers. Caught Johnson streaking into the offensive zone, fired from a shallow angle, and the rest is history. But as you said, next goal is going to be big, and that one almost looks like a backbreaker.
I think that's one that Trevor Babin, if you ask him after the game, he's going to want back. Just wasn't quite hugging the post tight enough. 2.5 to go in the second period. It is now a 2-0 hockey game. Prowlers have a little bit of an energy about them, a little bit of a swagger with them right now. How can Motor City answer again? Declan Conway scratched tonight. He is usually one of the guys you look to when the Rockers need a goal.
Yeah, Motor City without their top 3 leading scorers, technically.
Dante Suffredini in his own zone. Love to get one back before we head to the locker room. Pass across the way, can't find Foley. Suffredini stepped in front of it. Far side, picked up by Delaney, slides into the offensive zone, delayed offside called, and as Wynn grabs it, whistle blown, neutral zone draw. Buck 48 to go, second period. 2-0 Port Huron on top of Motor City, thanks to Alex Johnson netting his 7th of the year. On the neutral zone draw, a tie-up goes back to Motor City. Into the offensive zone, Mike Wynn. In deep, Schumacher picks it up, knocked back. Sneath up front, gets by Svinsoff. Bird, and we have a whistle. The net came off the mooring, and a frustrated TJ Sneath put his hands up in the air saying, come on, how many times is this going to happen?
Well, that time it was deliberate. This should be a penalty on Tucker Tynan. Why? Because he already knocked the net off the moorings, and then he shoved it off for good measure with his kick push to the opposite side. That's intentional when you already know it's off the moorings. He knew it was off the moorings because he tried to re-secure it. It was not secured, so.
93 seconds to go in the second period. The Rockers hoping they can sustain the pressure and keep the net on straight. Looked like a clean win for Sneath. It bounces back to the boards. Sneath able to hang on to the puck from the hash marks. Spins around off the glass, trying to get it to Svinsoff. Sure-handed Russian in the corner. Gets bumped off the puck. Brian Parsons throwing his body around a bit. Austin Federley centers. Graham, and offside the call. It'll neutralize the rush, bring the draw back to neutral ice.
That was a late whistle, but Brandon Baton said, nope, someone was a little early. I didn't see it, but hey, we'll take the gifts. Josh Colton, it's his birthday today. That's a nice gift.
1:08 to go, second period. Rockers feel like they need a spark. And whether that can come, maybe a big hit, maybe someone has to drop the gloves. Maybe Elias Thompson challenges someone. Just something to get the guys going. Holt in close, shot knocked away. Still batting at it, and Tynan able to cover it up once again. Stops another flurry and keeps Motor City off the board.
Yeah, Elias Thompson did a good job trying to get that extra little shove of his stick in between the pads. Again, Tucker Tynan doing a good job.
Draw one by Motor City. Milam shot gets knocked away to the near side. Battling for it, comes out near the blue line for Cam Burt. Gives it back behind the net. Johnson picks it up for Port Huron. Perfect feed to Chartrand over the red line. Now the blue works around a defender. Right wing circle, shot sticked away. Nearly went out of play. Half a minute to go in the period. 2-0 Port Huron. Prowlers would love to add another one before the frame ends. Motor City trying to flip the momentum. Chartrand tips it in deep. Federley chases after, gets by Burt. Federley, left wing circle, backhands, and it's knocked away. Right side, Jones shot. Knocked up and I believe hit the netting. 7.8 seconds to go in the second period. Port Huron have one more look at it.
Babin had still no idea where he deflected that shot. That's how quick. That is how quick Mitch Jones rifles one. And he's only from West Bloomfield. Like, how is this guy not playing in this league? He's local. Credit Matt Graham for picking him up.
8 seconds to go in the period. Rockers win the draw. Federley takes it away. Jones will get one last look. The slap shot knocked away, and it's the end of the period. The score is still 2-0. Port Huron on top. They get one at the start of the period. They get one at the end. Prowlers break the tie. Ben, let's take a look at the shots on goal and a quick recap of the period.
Well, the game's not going the Rockers' way, but they are still winning shots on goal. 23-18 for the game, 12-11 in the period. They still trailed 2-0 thanks to goals here by Sam Merritt and Alex Johnson. So that is where we're at so far here through 40 minutes.
2-0 Prowlers on top. Again, it was a Merritt goal at the start of the period, a Johnson goal at the end. Ben, it does feel like the Rockers need a little bit of a spark. You're Coach Gordy Brown. What's the message in that locker room for the final 20?
Well, again, it seems like that goal by Johnson's the backbreaker, right? But you got to tell them, look, it's still a 2-goal game. We are out shooting these guys. Keep peppering. Keep getting the puck deep. We're going to work low to high. We're going to get our opportunities. We're going to shoot to rebound. The game is still not out of hand just yet. That's my game plan for the last 20. You are going to pepper Tucker Tynan like he is a fine steak, and you are going to flash him and sear him in a pan and then digest him with a nice bottle of wine after the game.
Well, as Gordy and the crew try to get the Rockers ready for a final push in the third period, let's bring on a man that needs no introduction. Rockers team president Scott Brand. Scott, appreciate you joining us, and well, thanks for coming and welcome to the booth.
Well, remember, man, it needs no introduction but requires one. No, thanks for having me up here.
Of course. So talk about a little bit as your role of team president for those who don't know. What are you doing Monday through Friday? What are you getting ready so the Rockers fans can have a great experience?
Well, whatever I'm doing, I'm not doing enough of it. Our goal right now is to get our corporate sponsorship up. I think you look at the dashboards, we did a heck of a job doing that, so our staff did a nice job there. And then the other thing now is the attendance. The attendance is higher. I mean, today's game 9 or 10 compared to last year. We're up another 300 people over last year's game, and so far our attendance is getting higher and higher. And so that's what I was primarily brought on for. So it it wasn't a project we knew wasn't going to get built overnight, but we're in here for the long term. So that's long term. It's nice to have that nice, slow, steady growth.
Well, absolutely. When you get the fans in, at least I found in talking with other people in the organization, the fans they've talked to, the ones that have shown up have almost exclusively had positive experience. It's just getting them in. What are you hearing from fans when you talk to them? Because I always see you walking around. You're like you're running for mayor. You're talking to everyone.
Well, yeah. I mean, you got my goal is to sit in every section during the game, and the reason for that is I want to hear the offhanded comments. I want to see if the seat I'm in is broken or if the view is awful, so we can look at our long-term plans. But the fans that come to the game really enjoy it. And here's the thing: we don't have jumbotrons. We don't have the best sound system in the world. It's a lot of things we don't have, but what we do have is we have old-time hockey. Our players are very attainable. You can touch them after the game. I mean, they're in the locker, the tunnel down there, so fans can get by, get autographs, and then probably as important is there's really no bad seat here,
right.
And you're close to the important thing is mom's close to the restroom, dad's close to the bar. So, those are the things we got going on, and then we're just so blessed to have so many great partners with us.
This team is evolving with the Federal Prospects Hockey League. You've been around this league for a while. What is the evolution that this league and this team have taken to get where they are today?
Well, I think first of all you could look at all of our teams, and the one thing is the teams are stable. And when the league first started, we probably went through. There's probably 8 to 12 teams in the dead pile right now. But you look at the teams that are around the league right now, and I don't think anybody's ever talked about, this team's going to fold, which is usually, and I know the fan pages are bad now and all the gossip and everything, but like right now, nobody's talking about us folding or Port Huron folding or Whiteville. Everybody's talking about, hey, things are going well. I mean, Grammer's done a heck of a job up there in Port Huron. Whitville's outdrawn us. They're doing a heck of a job there. Even Watertown, for as low as their attendance is, they got such a sweetheart lease that there's no reason for them to not play next year. So I think the one thing is the league's done a heck of a job getting stronger. Then it's starting to move in some big markets. I'll just be honest with you, that scares me. We always have to protect markets like Watertown, Port Huron, because if teams drawing 1,200 to 1,400 a night can't make it in the league, the leagues become the SPHL, and that's not where we want to go.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I guess last thing, anything you want to leave with the Rockers fans with? Anything for the fans at home, or is that about it?
No, listen, we've got a lot of big things we're trying to do in the future. It's going to take time for us to grow, and hey, we're going to make some mistakes. So don't be afraid to call us out when we do make the mistakes. But there's things we'd like to do. We'd like nothing better to find a radio partner, so that you guys, you guys are big guys, and so the internet's only going to hold so much as. So we got to get a radio station, and then hopefully next year we can do a couple games on some local television. That would be the next step we want to do. That's a logical step. Weekly coaches shows and things like that. It's a slow process, but we're going to get there. And I just appreciate the fans that are sticking with us. And let's go Rockers. Hey, let's give Babin a little help out here. I mean, put the puck in the net or at least run the other team's goal. Did you say that? You said that.
All right, I'm going to wrap this up.
Let's create traffic.
I'm going to wrap this up before you get Jamie in any more trouble.
Can't believe he said that.
2-0 Prowlers on top of Motor City. That was Scott Brand, team president of the Rockers. We'll be back with third period action in a bit. Ronald Shocker is your local Farm Bureau insurance agent located in Shelby Township. They have been protecting and providing Michigan families with auto, home, life, and health insurance. For all your insurance needs, trust Michigan Farm Bureau agent Ronald Shocker. Third period, a few minutes away from getting started, but Port Huron with the 2-0 lead over Motor City. Tucker Tynan has been the story of the game. Thought Trevor Babin's played all right. The second goal he might want back, but I think overall it's been a positive game from 72.
It has been. I mean, it's only his second game back from, that 3-game suspension, which stemmed from New Year's
Last time
Eve.
these two teams met.
Yep.
So they have played a well-behaved 40 minutes.
They have. They've been on their best behavior. So the real question is, can they finish? Can they do the next 20? No, but in all seriousness, Trevor's looking really good. He's getting solid, getting dialed in. He's he's looking like Trevor Babin. And the best part is, too, he's completely healthy. So, Trevor not only being completely healthy, getting the rhythm back, getting that battle rhythm, you hear some coaches talk about in their press conferences, getting that back, getting the ring rust off, all that good stuff. Babin is starting to look locked in. And again, you ripped through the sweater for the second one. The first one was all Mitch Jones holding it on to the very last second to find Sam Merritt. Other than that, Trevor's been exceptional tonight, like he is most nights. So, he's settling in nicely. He's doing a good job. But again, Tucker Tynan doing an excellent job in net, stopping anything and everything, and the ones he doesn't necessarily see are also staying out of the net. So, got to solve him in the last 20.
Yeah, said before the break that Motor City going to need a spark. If there's someone on the roster that you can look to, again, Declan Conway scratched tonight.
Yep.
Currently on the roster, he's their leading scorer. Who are you looking to break through the Great Wall of Tynan and get the first goal up for Motor City?
Well, the first one I really would like to see TJ Sneath kind of get off the schneid a little bit right when he came in. Looked like he was red hot, right? Was settling in. Looked like the game was coming easy, for the new guy from Chino, California. But he's again, kind of going through a drought. So I'd like to see him get one. But other than that, really, I want to see a nice, good rip from the outside. Jamie Milam would be a good candidate to do that. He almost had one in the first period doing just that. It's also would be very special for Josh Colton to get one on his birthday, because to answer the trivia question, it was Mike Wynn on December 23rd against Elmira right here. So technically it was last year, but it was this season. So,
and you feel like if you keep creating that chaos in front of the net, eventually one of those pucks are going to bounce your way, right?
You would think, and that's why I liked in the second period, Motor City was just starting to go back to what they do, right? When they're down, what do? They just put the puck on the net, they shoot for rebounds, they see if they can get one, that way, or, again, carrying it in deep and trying to get a clean center. So, that's what they've been doing. They just got to get more opportunities to do so and cash one in. So they can do that. Just got to get that first one.
20 minutes left to go in regulation. Port Huron going left to right, Motor City right to left. Rockers try to erase a 2-goal deficit here in the final frame. Thank you so much for spending your Friday night with us here on the Rockers Media Network. Again, whether you're watching on YouTube or now, you can watch on Twitter through the Motor City Rockers at Rockers Hockey. Brand new tonight. Puck is dropped, and Motor City controls it to start the third period on a fresh seat of ice.
Wonder if Mark Zuckerberg will let us do it on Facebook.
Let's
just knock it out of the park, right?
That's the next step. Get the Rockers everywhere.
As Scott Brand even said on local radio.
Yes.
Get us anywhere you want.
Svintsov, offensive zone, leaves it back, but he left it for a Prowler. Flipped up, and Svintsov able to knock it back to his own stick. Battle for it, coming away with it. TJ Sneath at least pinned it to the boards for a moment. Svintsov, quick feed, knocked away. This has been tug of war at the red line.
It's kind of like how the first period was, right? When we were first starting out this game, these guys were just jabbing back and forth a little bit. But here's Dalton J. He can get a good look.
Shot gets knocked wide by Milam, tipped back, patted by Babin. And if Port Huron, they're up 2 goals. They can afford to just battle in the neutral zone and let that clock melt away. Minute into the third period. Prowlers in the offensive zone. Voley chases after it. Milam had it poked away by Dalton J. Colton. Up to Holt on the half wall. Puck slides across. Milam has it on the tape. Searching, pressured by Jay. Long pass knocked away by Austin Federley. He's taken down to the ice. No hand goes up. Play goes on. Young. Pass knocked away by Fields. He collides with Graham. Into the offensive zone. Rockers chase after it, and Tynan took a moment to cover it up. Eventually does. It'll be an offensive zone draw for the Rockers.
Yeah, Motor City still trying to find a way to create an odd man rush. I think Motor City wants that first one to be a 2-on-1, one where you can center it late, get Tynan going post to post, and see if they can beat them that way. But so far, so good. You know, guys are starting to get some more opportunities, and the bodies are starting to fly a little bit as well.
Draw to the left of Tucker Tynan. Kuhn tried to get it to Wells, couldn't find it. Knocked away. Wells had it poked away once again. Graham, near side freeboard. Takes it over the blue line, top of the right wing circle, sends across Federley. Shot doesn't make it past the laid out body of Milam. Turnover. Federley buries it 3-0.
Well, I think that's the backbreaker. Wow.
Milam did a great job laying in front of the initial attempt. Then the Rockers turned it right back over. And Austin Federley, he didn't miss. He has his 8th of the year.
No, Federley just got it, was able to walk into the slot, picked where he wanted to shoot, and buried it.
18:01 to go, third period. 3-0 Prowlers all over Motor City here at Big Boy Arena. And these two teams will rematch tomorrow up at McMorran. It's a late start. It's their Silver Stick game. As another shot from point blank gets knocked away. Silver Stick game up at McMorran Arena. So an 8 o'clock start on Saturday. Should be it's a late one on the weekend. Then next weekend, of course, a 3-game set as the Blue Ridge Bobcats return to Fraser, Michigan.
Yeah, all the rest of the games against Blue Ridge are here at home.
In their own zone. Wynn spins around, looking for somewhere to send it, banks it off the back wall, ends up with Fields. Back to the near side. Into the corner, battle for it. Couple of white, couple of purple jerseys. Kind of jockey for position. Gives out to Sufferdini. He can't hold on to it. Nearly turned over. Jay would have had a breakaway. He leaves it behind him and at least gives Motor City's defense a chance to regroup. Motor City's just looked a step off all game long.
Just a little bit. Again, their top 3 scorers not playing tonight. Scott Koash, is inactive. TJ Delaney, who was getting red hot, is inactive. And, of course, Declan Conway's a scratch tonight. So
Rockers have yet to put it past Tucker Tynan. 3-0. Prowlers on top. Thompson pressures, was able to lift the pass up in the air. There wasn't a purple jersey home to bring it in. In neutral ice. Thompson flubs the pass. Rink wide feed knocked away by Holt. Federley in his own zone. Works around the defender. Over all 3 lines. Federley, who just made it 3-0 Port Huron, gives back to the point, but no one home. Alex Johnson has to retreat to his own zone, picks up the puck.
And the thing about this game, you're going to have to get one back because it's not in the Prowlers' DNA just to, play possession hockey, right? They're always on the attack. They always like to keep it going and keep the pedal down, so to speak. They don't really let up.
Burt over the line, far side to Delaney. Backhand feed.
There's one.
John Kuhn buries it. Adam Kuhn, makes it 3-1. A beautiful display of passing. And the Rockers have a little bit of life.
Kuhn are doing a good job getting that puck right back and through, but an even better pass to set him up.
Finally, the crowd gets a little something to cheer about. 15:29 to go in the third. The backhand from Adam Kuhn, his 4th of the year. And now Motor City with a little bit of pep in their step. Can they take advantage of it? Port Huron has it in the offensive zone.
You can hear Let's Go Rockers going out throughout BBA.
Again, it's a shot of adrenaline. Svinsoff sends it to the blue line, knocked away. Sim in his own zone, rink wide feed, poked away from Parsons. Sneath goes through his legs. Milam picks it up at neutral ice. Sent to win, goes through his stick, back to Fields. Fields intercepts the pass from Port Huron. Nowhere to go. Dalton Jay picked it up.
That's too many men.
Have too many men.
That's way too many men. Jay came off the bench to play the puck immediately. You can't do that.
And Port Huron takes an ill-timed penalty. As the Motor City Rockers about to go on the Genesis Credit Union power play. Learn how Genesis can put more money in your pocket and become one of 210,000 members at genesiscu.com or visit them at any of their convenient locations. And luckily enough for the Rockers, it's time for a media timeout, so they have a little time to set up the power play. As Gordy Brown sets up the power play, let's go to Ben Zalagi for what's going on around the league and shots on goal.
Yeah, shots on goal. Again, that was a big one by Adam Kuhn. That's his 4th in 6 games, assisted by Tim Delaney. That's actually his first point. Tim Delaney in 20 games breaking the drought with that assist. Cam Burt gets an assist as well on the goal. Shots on goal favoring Motor City 24-19, 1-1 here so far in the first period. Around the league, Danbury has overtaken Binghamton 4-3. That game is a final. 3 unanswered goals in the third period. Connor Woolley, Chase Harwell, and Corey Cunningham pulling the rabbit out of the hat, getting those 3 big ones to win 4-3 at Vision's Veteran Memorial. So the streak is officially broken out there.
How big does that make this game now?
Makes it monumental, let's be honest.
You have a chance to try to crawl slowly back into the game or back into the race for lead in the Empire. Danbury doing you some favors. On the other side of the coin, You don't want Danbury nipping at your heels too closely.
Well, no, and of course Danbury is only 5 points out, right? That's a game and a half. So with that win, they get 3. You need to find a way to get this into overtime to at least secure 1.
Well, you can't score a 2-point goal.
Nope.
Have to get it 1 at a time, and a great opportunity here on the Genesis Credit Union power play. Sneath, Giuliano, Wynn, Svinsoff, and Milam out there for the Rockers. 14:44 to go in the third. Gagnon serving the bench minor for too many men. Is both sides a little eager to drop this puck.
Yeah, Motor City's had 2 previous opportunities. They all came in the first period, did not bury them. Again, they lead the league in the power play this season at 34.8%.
Prowlers control the draw. Johnson has it poked away. Giuliano fighting for it with a couple of his comrades on the near side. It's a fight for it. Across to Milam, rink-wide pass intended for Sneath. It's broken up. I believe it was Foley that got the first stick there.
Yeah, if Sneath gets it, he buries it, and we pull within 1. That's a good break up there by Port Huron.
30 seconds into the man advantage. Along the boards, Wynn poking and prodding it, comes to Sneath. Back out to Svinsoff, over to Milam, hops over a stick, able to settle it down into the hash mark far side. Returns to Milam, slap shot knocked wide of the net. Sneath nearly tipped it past Tynan. Excuse me, that was Wynn that nearly got the tip. 1:05 left to go in the man advantage. 13:48 to go in the game. 3-1 Port Huron. Nearly had Dan Chartrand sneaking out for a breakaway. shorthanded. Instead, it's just a clear, and both sides reset. 50 seconds left to go in the man advantage for Motor City. Up and over the line, Kuhn scored the last goal, brings it in tight. Around the net, wrap around, hits off the post and into Tynan's stomach. He covers it up. We'll get a draw in the offensive zone.
Tynan on the wraparound likes to keep his angle and body square to the puck. And what's unique about that is in the wraparound, that still allows the puck to squeak through the near side post. He's playing with fire when he does that, but it still works.
He's not been beat on that yet tonight. 39 seconds left to go to the bench minor for too many men. On the draw, a tie-up. Holt, the near side, Colton shot sticked away by Tynan. Can't be cleared by Port Huron. Jay gets the steal. Breakaway. Dalton Jay buries it. Talked about it earlier. He's a short-handed merchant, and he sucks the life out of Big Boy Arena, making it 4-1.
Well, that's suboptimal, to say it simply. We were just saying it in the broadcast in the first period. Dalton Jay, you would expect at this point in the season he would be near double digits, over double digits. Well, he just got number 7, and that's his first shorty.
And for Dalton Jay, that is his 200th goal as a Port Huron Prowler. Couldn't have come at a better time as the lead's back up to 3. Giuliano goes down. Play will go on. No, it will not. Official to my left puts up the right arm. And the power play will continue for Motor City. They have to overcome a 3-goal deficit.
Well, they had to overcome a 3-goal deficit before. They pulled within 2. But they have 15 seconds of a 5-on-3.
And a timeout from Motor City. Gordy Brown understands how important these next 2 minutes are. Hey, if you get that one back, you have essentially 10 minutes to try and make it interesting. But that Dalton Jay goal's a backbreaker, man.
Yeah, it's an untimely turnover by the Rockers in the neutral zone, obviously. But you know what? You can draw out this one in the face-off. You have it in the circle. Whoever's taking that face-off, just clear the guy in front of you and let your forward step into a shot. That, I think if you do that, you're shooting for the rebound, let the other guys crash the net, and you sell out for this one. Try to get a big power play goal. Again, it's 5-on-3 for 15 seconds. You pull within 2, and then you still have 1:45 left of a normal power play. You can set into your rhythm and get a good power play goal there. That's what I would do. How would you attack this face-off, though, Brady?
You know you need it's a tough ask to score in 15 seconds, but if you can, hey, go full blitzkrieg trying to get this goal off the draw, because if you do, you can keep that second penalty on the board and keep Port Huron on their heels.
Yeah.
Giuliano tasked with the man at the center dot. He duels with Merritt. Merritt gets a clean win, sends it all the way down the ice. That is the opposite of what you need. In fact, Merritt got a shot on goal, put it right to Trevor Babin. 5 seconds left in the initial too many men penalty. Svinsoff takes it over the line, leaves it back to 5-on-4. In close, back in across, wide open goal. TJ Sneath wasn't missing that one. Rockers get one back, still trail by 2.
Well, the first power play was over, so that's going to clear the second one. Motor City now 1 for 4 tonight.
TJ Sneath with his 9th of the year. Port Huron got maybe a little too aggressive on that shorthanded, trying to force something the other way, because I don't know how you get to a 3-on-1 on a power play. Usually you pack it in and say, get it through the traffic. Motor City not out of it yet. 4-2. Prowlers on top.
Well, so far I said Sneath needed to get one. He got one.
Did so in a big way.
Yeah, the officials are telling them that goal was the power play goal, so that time has to come off.
As long as it's 5-on-5 hockey, I guess
you can let it run.
The cosmetics of the scoreboard is irrelevant.
Well, Paradise likes to have a clean game, and you can see why tonight. Not a lot of penalties, getting the media timeouts right, keeping the scoreboard right. Paradise does a good job.
And now they're saying just
they're
roll with
just
it.
gonna say, they're just going to roll it off.
Again, it doesn't really make that much of a difference except maybe confusing a fan or two that maybe isn't paying the closest attention. 12 and a half minutes to go in the third period. Rockers chasing 2 after TJ Steeth buries 1 on the power play. Babin behind his own net leaves for Suffredini. The D-man sends across to Colton, returns to Suffredini. Break out to Holt. Jay comes to pressure. Rink-wide feed, finds the tape of Giuliano. Tries to work around Parsons, takes it in the offensive zone. It's chipped back near the blue line into neutral ice. Holt, pass hit, Dalton Jay. Suffredini near side, centers to Thompson, can't handle it. Working the other way, Brian Parsons over the red line, now the blue. Puts on the break, centering feed. It's knocked away from Schumacher and sending it to the corner, Trevor Babin. Back up, Federley, slap shot, misses wide, bounces off the back wall. Near side, Parsons keeps it in deep. Suffredini looking for the breakout to the near wall. Getting a little physical on the near side. Rockers fans want a penalty, they're not getting it. Colton centers, and it'll race for the puck. Wells wins the race as Tynan banks it off the near glass. Rockers were getting a change. Parsons and Wells collided, and Parsons had some words for the man in stripes.
Well, I also think he had some words for Section 2 over there across the ice.
They're the rowdy ones.
They're the rowdy ones for certain.
Now we're starting to get a little physical. 11 minutes to go in this one. Feels like a lifetime. And there's a wrestling match on the far side. I wouldn't call it a fight.
No, that's
Federley, and I didn't see the rocker down there.
I think that might be Sneath or Rotundi. Yeah, that's Ryan.
So Rotundi and Federley both come out of it. So let's see how the officials hand out the penalties for this one. I'm going to imagine it's going to be even.
It's got to be. Yeah, they're going to say it's
4 on 4.
Yeah.
Which, I know it's up to the official's discretion, but I don't see the need for 4 on 4 there.
Well, Jonathan Paradise is just saying, look, both of them are going to be called. It's going to be 4 on 4. It is what it is.
If anything, it helps Motor City trailing by 2. You want a little more open ice, create some more scoring opportunities.
Well, that's just it, right? And how do you judge this, right? Like, how do you? I mean, you could argue Federley was holding on to Rotundi. You could argue Rotundi was holding on to Federley and took off his helmet, right? You can go both ways. So I give credit to John Paradise just saying, hey, look, both guys are guilty. It's going to be 4 on 4 for the next 2 minutes. May the best team win.
So it looks like 4 on 4 hockey as Austin Federley and the Kowalski meat locker. 10:57 to go in the third. Rockers still trailing by 2.
Well, now the next question is, where do you put the face-off? I mean, if it's 4 on 4, just have it outside the zone. But it doesn't look like that's going to be the
penalty
case.
occurred in the Rockers zone, so I think that's why they bring it back to where it is. Merritt Giuliano will draw to the right of Trevor Babin. Clean win for Merritt. Johnson sends across to Jones. Can't send it in deep. So they'll give 2 minutes to holding to both of them.
Let's be honest,
I mean,
it's 2 minutes.
6 in one, half dozen in another. They're in the box for 2 minutes either way.
I mean, really, it's 2 minutes for cuddling.
Fields, it was definitely was not fighting.
No, it
definitely was not fighting. Motor City trailing by 2. Milam looked like he was going to let one rip. Wraparound attempt, and it knocked away. He had a right idea, just couldn't quite execute.
No, Johnson got his stick on it. That's why it didn't go in.
Sends on net. Tip wide in the back of the net. Rockers trailing by 1 thanks to Jonathan Giuliano.
Oh, Jules got an empty netter last weekend, gets a big one tonight.
Our winger of the game.
free wings for free wings for everybody.
Giuliano brings the Rockers within one, and thanks to fan saves, you now get some free wings. 1 goal game and a whole lot of hockey left to be played.
Well, who knew you had to be down 3 goals to wake up, huh?
There's a palpable energy in this building. Turnover. Jay has it forced wide of the net. Ooh, seeing ghost for a minute with Jay point blank as the Rockers had momentum. His goal right now, the difference, the shorthanded goal that put the Rockers up 4-1. 4-on-4 hockey for another 55 seconds. Heinzel loses it in his own zone. Svintsov, Wynn begging for it at the point, sent wide. Oh, Wynn was eager for it.
Oh, here's an opportunity.
Wells gives right side. Svintsov in close, backhand knocked away. And the net was off the moorings. I don't know how long the net was off for.
Either way, that was a beautiful poke check by Tynan. If he doesn't get a stick on that, that's a goal by Svintsov. Beautiful play there by Tynan, who's been incredible all night, but that was a great poke check.
So we'll go to the media timeout, 9:32 third period. We got ourselves a heck of a hockey game. Prowlers 4, Rockers 3. Ben, shots on goal. And is everyone else around the league having as much fun as we are?
Well, shots on goal for Motor City. They lead in the period 5-2, overall 28-20. Of course, the last 2 goals, TJ Sneath on the power play, assisted by Jamison Milam and Mike Wynn. And then, of course, 2 minutes, 26 seconds later, Jonathan Giuliano getting the even strength. Cam Burt got his second assist of the game, and Devon Fields is going to get an apple as well. It's 4-3 here at Big Boy Arena. As we said, Danbury won 4-3 over Binghamton. That's a big game you had to keep an eye on. Of course, Elmira won 4-2. Frank Tizera got the first star of the game. He had 2 big goals for the River Sharks. Speaking of the River Sharks, the Seawolves, their friends, are not having a fun time, though they're coming back on Carolina. Carolina getting a big goal by John Butita to give them a 5-4 lead early in the third period.
A high-scoring one down south.
And if you want to hold on to your seat, you're sitting down, right?
I am. I see the score.
Blue Ridge Bobcats 3, Columbus 2. It is 3 straight goals. Vlasov getting the first one, Garrick Lindbergh getting the second, and Sava Smirnov getting a nice drink as well.
Want to remind your fans that if the Rockers come back and win next Tuesday from 5 to 9 p.m., fans with the offer on their phone can upgrade their draft beer from 16 to 20 ounces. It will be supported every home game via FanSave, Rockers social media, and arena announcements.
There you go.
Half a minute left to go in 4-on-4 hockey. Rockers are buzzing. Milam lost the puck. Foley sends it to neutral ice. Look out. Chartrand, offensive zone, knocked away, and Babin couldn't quite play it. Oh, boy. Had to be Cam Burt that sent it behind the net to safety. Held on to your breath for a moment.
Yeah, that's an unorthodox way to clear a puck, huh? Shoot it on your own goaltender, but shoot it wide. Do they teach that at TPH? Ooh. My goodness.
That was a got the heart rate up a bit. Federley, Rotundi out of the box. Back to 5-on-5 hockey. Still just under 9 minutes to go in this third period. Prowlers led by as many as 3.
Well, it's almost like in Top Gun, right? When Christopher Robbins tells Maverick, "You're going to do what?" Like, you don't want to see that puck go on your own goaltender. That's not smart.
Fans getting loud here in Big Boy Arena. You can hear the Let's Go Rockers chants as the Prowlers go off sides. That same section, they seem to be where the rowdy ones end up.
Yes, they are. Of course, they were also the section that taunted Schmidt when Schmidt was here with those interesting signs last year.
It has been the rowdy section.
That is
putting it as simply as possible. Colton in his own zone for Motor City. One touch pass up to Sneath. Over the logo near side. Wynn can't grab the loose puck. Suffredini sends it all the way down. Banks off the end wall. Picked up by Mitch Jones of Port Huron. Up to Tristan Sim. Back on Motor City skates. Puck near the blue line. Win. Backhand pass was looking to find Svintsov. Couldn't make it through traffic. Dalton J dumps in deep. Gagnon chases after it. Back at the point. Jones throws on net. Controlled by Kuhn. Banks it off the far boards. Win nearly poked it away. Would have had a great opportunity. Puck slides all the way down the ice. Heinzel the first one there. Icing called. Draw comes back to the Rocker zone.
Man. Well, we said Sneath had to get one. He's gotten one. Giuliano, the veteran, getting a big one. Who do you think could get the tying one?
It's just, that's a tough one.
It is a tough one. Lambden, maybe?
Svintsov's been flirting with it all night.
He's been buzzing. Svintsov is a good guess. We almost should do like a pick your stick like they do on other local stations.
Right now, I don't care who gets it as long as someone in purple gets it. Dante Suffredini behind the net. Leaves it for no one. Win. As Kuhn takes a big hit. Puck still in the Rockers zone. Sent to neutral ice. Battle for it, poking and prodding. Ends up deep in the Rocker zone. Suffredini surveys the scene as he controls the puck. In the middle, Wells working for the puck. Goes down to a knee, able to get right back up. Colton, rink wide feed. Controlled by Fields. Over the red line to Wells. Offensive zone centering feed taken away, went right to the stick of Tristan Sim. Fields knocks it away. He goes down in the offensive zone. Prowlers have to wait to touch up. Puck just sitting still between the blue line. Sim picks it back up. 6.5 minutes to go, third period. Rockers trying to complete the comeback. They trailed 4-1, currently 4-3. Parsons stands behind Tynan with the puck, looking for the breakout. Up the far side for Merritt. Got the game's first goal, shoveled back into the offensive zone. Wells gives back. Burt, centering feed. There was no one there to pick it up. Fields trying to throw the body around. Foley has it neutral ice. Poked over the blue line. Milam chasing after it. Back to the Rockers, and as Gagnon sends it deep. 5:50 to go, third period. Rockers chasing after it. Sneath protecting the puck behind the net, puts on the brakes on the backhand. Looking for someone, throws on net, sticked away by Tynan. Colton keeps it in deep. Svintsov throws on net, wide. Win, backhand still loose. Svintsov can't settle it down. He would have had a great look. Back to Rotundi. It hops over his stick into neutral ice. Ryan Rotundi sends to Josh Colton as the Rockers touch up. Heinzel picks it up for Port Huron. Flipped up and out. Chartrand triangulated by a few Rockers. Takes it into the offensive zone. Colton pins Merritt to the boards. Just over 5 minutes to go in this one, and you can feel the tension like a thick fog hanging over the ice.
Yeah, Motor City was really applying that pressure. It looked like Port Huron was going to break, but credit the Prowlers. They were able to hold their heads high above water, not get pulled under, and got a good clear and just got a good battle there.
Colton sends to his D partner, Rotundi. Over center right, throws on net, easily kicked aside by Tynan. Back behind the net, Schumacher gives up to Sim. Skates over two lines, flips it in deep. Milam battles with Federley to pick it up. Holt comes away with it, works around one defender. Pass goes up to Wells. The big man into the offensive zone, uses his body. Shot is swallowed up by Tynan.
Oh.
And a little extracurriculars.
Wells taking on two of them.
See if they'll send anyone to the sin bin for that. 4:19 to go in the third, 4-3. Prowlers on top.
Oh, if you're sending anyone to the box, you got to send two Rockers and two Prowlers. That's not going to happen.
Take us to our final media timeout. 4-3, Prowlers on top. Ben, set the stage for the final 4:19.
Yeah, well, so far Motor City has two unanswered again off the stick of TJ Sneath on the doorstep on a power play goal. Jonathan Giuliano on the doorstep as well, getting a big one to pull within one. Motor City leading the shots on goal 32-21, 9-3 here in the period. Of course, we know the two scores that are final. There's a couple of games still going on. Carolina leading 5-4 against Mississippi, and Columbus is tied thanks to Cody Wickline getting a big goal in the third period near the halfway point, tying it with Blue Ridge. But Blue Ridge not going quietly into the night. Neither is Motor City. It is going to be a fun 4:19 left here at BBA.
If you're just joining us here on the Rockers Media Network, let's reset it. 4-3 Prowlers on top. Prowlers went up 3-0 before the Rockers netted their first goal. Then the Rockers got another power play, a chance to pull within one, but Dalton Jay stepped in front of a pass, took it the length of the ice, made it 4-1 with his 200th career goal as a Prowler. And then the Rockers, they weren't done yet. They answered not too long after. A pair of goals first from TJ Sneath on the power play, and then Jonathan Giuliano made it 4-3. The Prowlers hoping to hang on to this lead and get out of Big Boy Arena with 3 points.
Well, Jamie Milam's ready to play. He was the first one who came off the bench saying, let's go. I can tell you this as someone who's the same age as Milam, if you get that adrenaline flow and you don't want it to cool off, it takes you a while to heat up.
Milam out there with Wells, Suffredini, Burt, and Giuliano. 4:19 to go in regulation. Rockers looking for the equalizer. Graham wins the draw. Sent across. Wells steps in front of it, keeps it in the offensive zone. Wells sends it to the half wall. Federley uses the body, can't knock Giuliano off the puck. A couple of white jerseys come to aid. Right wing circle and a high stick called on Motor City. Draw will go to neutral ice.
I will say this, you can tell Motor City immediately is coming out with their hair on fire. They, right after that face-off, Giuliano accepted the loss, pushed the stick into the offensive zone, and everyone just rushed with them. They are going to use a strong forecheck to try to create a turnover and get this one going. That's why they're upset at the high stick call.
Sneath, Svinsoff, and Wynn will come out as the forwards for Motor City. Rotundi and Colton, the D-men. Rotundi, one-touch pass up to Wynn. Sneath takes it in the offensive zone, can't work around Schumacher, in close, puck picked up, Svinsoff with the backhand, patted away. Tynan had trouble locating the puck. Prowlers control play, send it all the way down. Rotundi gets there before icing can be called. The D-man soccers it up to neutral ice. Svinsoff puts on the brakes, battles for it. Went back to Schumacher, I believe. Far side, Port Huron with the puck. Deep in the Rocker zone, Sneath pinned to the boards. 3:15 left to go in regulation. Rockers trying to find by hook or by crook that equalizing goal. All the way down, Jones plays it, no icing, Burt pressures. Far side Foley, backhand Jay, pitchforks it across all three lines. Jay sends it in deep. Get some fresh legs on the ice for Port Huron. Milam on the far side, the diagonal dump. Burt chases after it. Johnson gets there first. Along the near wall, squirts out Graham on the rush, has numbers. Near side. That was Freeborn. Had it poked away. Graham behind the net, under 2.5 to go. Have to start thinking about if you get the puck possession when you take Trevor Babin out of the net. Freeborn tipped it in. Oh, he somehow put it by Trevor Babin. And it's a 2-goal game.
Liam Freeborn leading the Prowlers with goals, just got lucky 13. Centering pass, just tipped it right in front.
Couldn't tell if that went 5-hole or beat him on the Trapper side.
No, that went 5-hole.
But 5-3, and now a heck of a hill for the Rockers to have to overcome. Schumacher off the draw. Rotundi kicked it into the offensive zone. Kuhn was well offside. Colton in his own zone. Sends up. Wynn tips it in deep. Tynan plays behind the net. 2 minutes left to go in the third period. Rockers trail by 2. They're going to need a little bit of luck. Rotundi's shot goes wide. Suffredini just trying to throw whatever they can on net. Colton pinned to the boards. Tries to get the puck up and out. Schumacher controls it, gives to Jay. Over the red line. Around the boards, Babin plays it. 1:30 left. You have to think about getting Trevor Babin to the bench.
You have to start thinking about it, and now would be a good time.
Babin doesn't look like he has any intention on leaving that crease. Prowlers control it. Freeborn. Lost it. Colton sends up. Babin behind the net. 1:10 to go in the third. And the Rockers need something started yesterday. Foley forces the turnover. Federley, left wing circle, gives back to the point to Heinzel. Shot is tipped out in front. Rebound attempt pushed wide. Final minute to play in the third period. Rockers trail by 2. Milam off the boards. Johnson grabs it, dumps in deep, and just keeps milking that clock away. Sneath behind the net. Drops off for Colton. Don't have time to set up, boys. You got to go. You need a goal, and you need it as soon as humanly possible. Prowlers control it. Final 25 seconds. Chartrand centers. Foley out in front. Knocked away by Elias Thompson in close, and a foul tip from Chartrand. Did not get a lot of it. Down to 14 seconds. And Port Huron going to come in to Motor City and get a big 3 points. Motor City battled late, but it took too long to get the motors running. And Port Huron gets the 5-3 win over the Rockers.
Yeah, well, you did what you could. It just makes you wish you could have buried one in the first when you had those couple of opportunities. But again, credit Port Huron. Port Huron's enjoying the reign of booze right now, and why not? You went to your rival's barn. You were trailing in this series 6-2-1. You now got one back.
Freeborn got the big one to make it 5-3, but the one that really felt like was the straw that broke the camel's back was Dalton Jay on the short-handed goal. Forced the turnover and buried it to make it 4-1. Rockers battled back, but they dug themselves too big of a hole.
They did. Again, you wish you could have buried one in the first period. You had a couple of good looks. I know a lot of fans at home are wondering where was this energy in the third period. It was there in the first. But again, that back pressure by Port Huron, they were helping out Tucker Tynan in the first period, in the first 20. They were clearing up a lot of his mistakes. Motor City probably should have had 1 or 2 in the first, but that's why this is a rivalry, right? You gotta get the ones you can get. And puck luck, if it's not on your side, you got to go in. You got to find a way to fight. Your back's against the wall. You let in a shorthanded goal. A lot of teams could just said, hey, not our night. But what did they do? They rattled off 2 more to pull within 1 before, again, credit to Port Huron, found a way to extend that lead. They were never going to coast through the last any part of their lead. Motor City still fought, still gave them a good battle without their top goal scorer and then their other 2 top goal scorers being inactive.
Won't have to wait long to renew this rivalry. Be back in action tomorrow night at McMorran Arena, an 8 o'clock puck drop as Motor City look to split the weekend series. Ben, any final thoughts on this one before we send it home?
Again, down a guy, probably not getting Declan until next weekend. I like the way these guys fought. TJ Sneath got a big goal when you needed him to. A veteran like Jonathan Giuliano got a big one. Cooner, Adam Kuhn, a new guy who's from Downriver. What is Downriver known for? Blue-collar work ethic. Found a way to help get the Rockers back into this one, too. He's only been playing with this team for a month, if that. So I really like the way these guys are fighting. You can do that tomorrow night in Port Huron. It's going to be a little bit late, but you can do it. And then come home and take all three against Blue Ridge, because even though Blue Ridge is playing tough, they can be beat, and you've beaten them before. Right now you have the series on Blue Ridge right now. So
Going to be back here at Big Boy Arena next week in a 3-game set with those Blue Ridge Bobcats. Rockers back in action tomorrow night at McMorran Arena. Join Will Wiggleman on the PHP Network for all the action in that one. For my partner Ben Zlagi, I'm Brady Beaton. Your final score tonight from Big Boy Arena, the Port Huron Prowlers 5, your Motor City Rockers 3. Thank you so much for joining us. Hope you all have a safe and wonderful night.
all right, rock on.